I don't think it is going. Hello, hello. Am I live? Y'all see me? Doesn't look like I'm live. Doesn't look like any of this is working. Help. You're trying to see, does it work? Why doesn't it work? I appears to not be working at all. I think we're just gonna have to do it right on YouTube here. Alright, appears to be working on Rumble. Now is it working on YouTube? Hello, YouTube. There we go. Working on YouTube now. So, anybody that is watching me right now on YouTube has got to let you know that we've had some severe technical difficulties over on our original stream that we were planning to do it from. So, I had to set up a new one here. But don't worry, Dollar Cost Crypto has been given the link, and he will be joining us very shortly. We just had a lot of trouble with getting the stream to work out. Let me just make sure that this is up on YouTube or up on X so everybody can see. And let's see, we'll be getting DCC in here any second now because we just got the thing working. Never fails. Like, once I have the most important guest I've ever had on, this is when everything decides to start going haywire and acting all silly and ridiculous. Yeah, it never fails. But anyways, we do have Dollar Cost Crypto coming in today. And let's see, we get the public chat up here and everything, make that work. Yeah, we do have Dollar Cost Crypto coming in here today. We will be having much to discuss here with him. He has agreed to spend quite an amount of time here with us tonight, which is very good. Very good that we got a lot of his time because you see, he is doing the crypto mindset course, and in the whenever he does that, he's not doing YouTube. He doesn't have like the time to do any of that and everything. So he's graciously decided to share some time here with us and talk to us about the ongoing crypto market and everything that's been happening there lately. So we'll be bringing him in as soon as he gets the link. I've sent it to him on the DMs here and everything. While we are waiting for him, let me just go over what I usually go over here. Let's see, oh, here it is. Here's my share screen. Oh, and also my participation invite here and everything. As you can see, guys, I am not a professional YouTuber. I am very, very bad at this. Man, it's getting a little silly with it all right here. Anyway, where was I? Okay. There we go. So yeah, I finally see the chat working now. Cookie de Chocolata is in here with us. Hello, Cookie. Thank you for being the first one here today. And let's see, where was I going with this next here? Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and do our usual breakdown of the macro, and we'll start it right here with the prices. We've taken some hits here today, I'm afraid. Taken some hits. It's not as bad as it could be, but yeah, not the. Oh wait, I'm not even showing my screen. Why is that not working? Come on now. Where is it? There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. I will get the hang of this streaming thing right here. All right, yes, this is Boomer Cairo here for a moment. Hey, everybody, also let me know if my audio is okay, because, like, I'm incredibly self-conscious about, like, the audio being good or not. All right? Incredibly self-conscious about that. Okay, where was I here with this? Oh, yeah, there we are. If the prices and everything that are going on here today, Bitcoin has fallen below 64,000, Ethereum has fallen below 1,900, and XRP was even going down below $1. They are struggling really bad there in XRP land. I don't think it's anything unique to them or anything. Anybody got any information on like why XRP is not having a good time? Anybody got any info on that? If so, share it with us here, because man, they have just been getting kicked in between the legs over and over again. It's not been a fun howdy doody ride. And as far as like some of the other ecosystems, like some of the other things I look at, man, Crow, their woes continue. The Crow woes continue here because Trump has pulled out of them. Even this World Liberty Finance is just kind of flat and not doing much of anything at all. And when we take a look at the other favorites of some of the big streamers out there, I mean, it's not much good action going on overall with them. Let's take a look at the assets that we care about. I should refresh this so I got the most up-to-date prices and everything. And it looks like we're kind of retracing here a little bit. It's not great, but it's nowhere near as bad as it could be. Nowhere near as bad as we've seen it many times. Like, yeah, this isn't the price action that we want to see right now, but I tell you, we've seen it so much worse when it comes to retraces in the land of HEX, in the land of Pulsechain. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to what we're used to seeing in Pulsechain land. So I'm just sending our message here to DCC. Make sure he's got that. Okay. So he'll be joining us, I'm sure. Just got to keep checking the waiting room here and everything. But yeah, what we're looking at right here, guys, it doesn't look great. But I'll tell you what here, when we take a look at from the all-time lows, we've only lost a little bit. I mean, yesterday, when I was looking at this, it was up 300% over here on HEX and up 300% here on PHEX as well. So being down to just up 284, that's not that dramatic of a loss. And when we take a look at like Pulsechain here and everything, man, that's really not that dramatic for them either. Little bit of drama over here on Inc., but that's kind of be like the most volatile probably out of all of them, just because the liquidity and the supply is incredibly low on the incentive token. It's kind of sad to see that Pulsechain itself got back another zero. A little sad to see that. But I think that we'll shed that zero again. We got nothing to worry about there. Yeah, so sorry about like the thing that happened earlier, guys. You see, the deal was we were supposed to go live at 6, and like we were ready to and everything, but it's like, and I had DCC in the green room with me. I was just kind of like walking him through what we were going to be doing on the program here today, and we kind of burned up a little too much time. We burned up about 10 minutes kind of talking backstage there, and that messed up the stream that we were doing there. So let's see, he's with us now here, actually. Let me bring him on, and well, he's getting ready. Okay, so we'll wait for him to get ready here, and then we will bring him right on. But anyways, as I was saying, it's not great. Doesn't look that great here in Pulsechain land, but we've seen it so much worse that this right here is just a mild retrace because things got just a little too hot. Take a look at TradFi real quick, then we'll get right to DCC here. And TradFi, well, they're already showing the futures here and everything. But as far as what was the market doing today, it had a little bit of a breather here as well in all of the major indexes. Bonds are back up. Look at that 10-year treasury, 4.69%. That thing keeps climbing. Oil, Brent, that's climbing. And now, remember what I was talking about yesterday, how there's a little bit of inverse between natural gas and oil. You can see it right there, just because they're co-produced here. So now like the natural gas supply is growing faster than they need it to, and that's why it's down a little bit today. Oh, man, gold's going down a little bit. So I guess Peter Schiff there is not as happy as he was earlier today. And here's the thing to talk about is this USD-JPY pair. We'll have some things to say about that. I'm going to ask DCC how he feels about that because Arthur Hayes just put out a really long column about what he thinks is going to happen with that and how that's going to affect crypto. About to bring him on right here, but also want to mention, head on over to reinventideal.substack.com, reinventideal.substack.com, and I got a free gift for you, and that is if you sign up, it's absolutely free to sign up, costs you absolutely nothing, but if you sign up, you can get yourself a free copy of the book, Your Parents Were Wrong. Get yourself a free copy of that book just by signing up as a free member of my Substack. And by the way, we'll be giving away a lot of free books today here. We're going to be having a lot of goodies and giveaways for you guys here. That being said, let's bring in Dollar Cost Crypto. Let's see here. Is he ready to go? I think you were ready to go here, right? Where are we? All right, got you in the. We got him in the thing here, but like, is he? Hang on. Just send him a message, see if it's working here. He needs the link again? Okay, there you are. Okay. Sorry, DCC. Try it one more time. Terribly sorry, all you guys watching here and everything. Don't worry, we will get him. Like, if I gotta reset the stream yet another time right here, we will get him and make sure that we have our conversation. It's just Rumble being the stubborn thing that it is. All right. So, like, Miguel, if you can hear me and everything, it does say that you're in. But, like, where? I got it on split, but it ain't putting you on here. I hope you got the link there, Miguel. Sent it there again. It does say that you're in here and you are approved and everything. So you let me know if you need anything else here, huh? All right, and everybody, while you're waiting, let's just let's see. Where were we? Got any of the? No. Where are we here? Let me send him another message. Okay, hang on. Okay, you know what, Miguel, I got an idea here. Bear with me. I can, let me do this. Let me kick this and then try it. Should work this time here. Let's make sure you got the link. There you go. And it should let you right in here. It shouldn't be requiring any approval or anything. Okay, there we go. It shows you there. It shows that you're in, but it ain't taking you. Apparently, it's not putting you on. All right, guys, we're gonna try this one more time here. Miguel, I see you in the room, but what does it show you? Mm-hmm. There he is. There we go. I think we got it working here, guys. Giving me just a moment to fix it. And let's see. There we go. There we go. We got Dollar Cost Crypto on finally. Hello, Dollar Cost Crypto. Welcome to a special episode of Shut the Fud Up.
What's going on? Can you hear me? My audio coming in good?
I hear you just fine. How about you guys in the chat? You hear Miguel, right? I think they do.
Had to do a million things to get this to work. We got it to work.
They can't hear you.
Huh?
They'll let us know if they can't hear you. So yes, welcome, Miguel. Why don't you tell us what's going on with you right now?
I'm in the middle of the crypto mindset course, and I was like, hey, let's do this interview. It'd be fun. Why not?
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
I'm off of YouTube till next month, basically, in terms of streaming.
Yep, we know how that goes there for you. I certainly know how that goes. Is twice I had taken the crypto mindset course.
No way.
And I think everybody that's going to take it, if you're going to take it, you probably got to take it twice. Because I tell you, the first time, it's going to be like drinking out of a fire hydrant. And then the second time, maybe a few quarters later, well, you know a lot more about crypto here and everything.
Right.
And you understand what they're talking about more. Checks My Pulse says that, yes, the audio is all good. So we are set there. All right. So why don't we just take a look here at our prices that I was looking at earlier and just kind of hear from you on all of that. When we take a look at Pulsechain, we're taking a breather here today. Make sure that this is up on the screen here so we can see. Will it? Oh, yeah, it will. Okay, here we go. Got it up on the screen so we can see right here. It's taking a breather. Is this anything that you think we should be worried about, or is this just kind of it got too hot so it has to cool down?
Oh, I mean, it's been doing that for the past days. It goes up to a new all-time high and then just comes back down a little bit. There's nothing to be worried about too much, but there are people on Twitter and stuff that are like, as soon as we get this one more pump, or I'm selling, or I'm taking profit, so it's going to come down. This is a suckers rally and stuff. To a certain extent, it's pumped up quite a bit. So I mean, that's awesome. You do expect a little bit of turn down, right, in price, but also the price had gotten so cheap that my God, I mean, I think literally HEX was down to $400 per million. That's so fucking cheap. I think, I mean, who knows? Maybe Richard's dude, this is too cheap. Jesus Christ! Another asshole come in here with $100 grand, become a whale, and I'll have, I could have some Rackham level problems. Who knows if later on and shit. So it kind of is what it is. But it's nice to get the recovery because the ecosystem was quiet as a mouse for a while because it was just, I mean, you can only have so many months of red where you're like, Jesus Christ, the fuck.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, it was just day after day, nothing but bad, and that days turned into weeks, and then into months, and finally, we had some good things happen. And I'm guessing here is just that the people that are holding it now are the people that were always going to hold it no matter what. The function of these bear markets is the people who don't believe in it are just transferring their coins to the people who do believe in it, and now it's just more coins in the hands of people who do believe, and not enough in the hands of people who don't believe. That's how I'm just reading this bounce off the bottom.
Right.
But what do you think? Is there anything more to it than that, you think?
I mean, part of, I mean, I would say like, yeah, you're right. Like if I were to put like, there's 100 people in the room, probably like 98 are like people who've been here already. There always is some new people coming in. Like I do have people in this course that are getting into the Pulsechain ecosystem for the first time, but it's still like a smaller proportion, right? Comparatively, right? I mean, during like as an example, like, I mean, really, I always track kind of like what happens during the course with like what's happening in crypto. So like, from what I see, I think the bottom is basically in or going to be in within the next 2-3 months, basically. So like this is pretty much the quarter to be in right now to DCA. Like I've actually been giving a recommendation to start dollar cost averaging. Obviously not unload your entire savings account. Like you'd want to wait for like a drop, but you're fucking crazy not to be DCAing. And it doesn't matter if it's Pulsechain, Ethereum, Bitcoin, or anything else you like. Like it's fucking insane. As long as it's like a premier coin that's got a good community, it's been around for a while. Like you're fucking crazy not to be dollar cost averaging. Like there's a bunch of influencers that it's not really on the Pulsechain side. It's more of like the regular like crypto side that are waiting for the exact bottom. And like as a person who has bought the exact bottom 2 cycles in a row already, I can tell you already this cycle is acting way different. It's less volatile. We got a much shittier 2025 as an example, but we have less volatility to the downside. Now we did get like, was it 5 months of straight red, damn near, right, on at least on monthlies, but it's just less volatile. Like it just is like we're not going to like we had 126. We're basically a little below half of that. So like that's normal. People are expecting like 70-80% drop on BTC. It's pretty much not happening. I mean, the only way, like there's always exceptions, right? The only way is the stock market completely fucking nukes. I mean, I'm talking about like, okay, we got like either a COVID type crash or we got something comparable to like a let's call it a I don't know, like a housing crisis crash in the stock market, not in terms of real estate. Like that's the way I kind of look at it right now.
Yep. We're gonna do a real deep dive into 2025 and the rest of this year, and then also like where the future is going. But let's start it out just here with this here, because like we know that you graciously gave us this time here while you're doing the course and everything. Just kind of warm you up here and everything. Can you tell us what it would be your current assessment or opinion of the economy right now? Because it feels like we're just constantly walking this tightrope of either there's a really big boom around the corner or there's like a great disaster around the corner. How do you see it right now with the economy? We'll get to the markets later, but what about the economy itself?
Well, I think the United States is in a stronger position compared to a lot of global economies, but the U.S. economy is weak right now. I can only speak to like content creator sales or something like there is a lot of things going on, just because it's like you have to look at like Main Street versus like people who do YouTube and do content versus like international people, right? But overall, the economy is weak around the planet. It just is, and it's mostly because interest rates are still high. Because and it's really not even that high. I mean, like what are we, 3.5% basically on the Fed's fund rate, but obviously they tack on yield on or interest ahead on top of that right there. But it's basically it's twofold, right? I mean, we're coming out, we're recovering past COVID. They printed a bunch of money, and we're kind of essentially on a hangover from that. And on the other side, we're dealing with a macro problem of basically we're entering kind of a baby bust where a lot of baby boomers are starting to that's really why like the economy at least is feeling sluggish right now. It's because I think the average age of a boomer right now is 7 years old. I literally looked it up, and if you actually look at when real estate, crypto, and stocks topped out, it was in 2021, right? Now, that's when the average median age of a boomer was 65, retirement age. So like, it's kind of crazy when you look at it. You're like, holy shit, yeah, that's actually true. Like, holy crap. And now the median age for boomer is about 70, 71 right now. So they're exiting positions. They've convinced a lot of them, thank God, to like only just do like 3% withdrawal or something like that, and like not just sell off the entire 401k. But that's kind of what's going on, is that there's not enough money coming in from the 401k side to kind of offset some of the withdrawals there. So a lot of corporations and businesses and loans are being taken out, especially on the AI side. That's kind of propping the stock market up, which is like giving the boomers a chance to fucking sell out right now. And that's happening globally around the planet right now. And then on the other side, the bigger that crypto gets, and i.e. that ends up meaning that the larger the stablecoin market gets, is that it's essentially rugging every other currency against the dollar as well. So like that's also why we're the cleanest, dirtiest shirt, is like all roads lead to Rome, all roads lead to the dollar. Like one thing that like you can believe all the conspiracy theories if you want or not, but basically if you look at like Bitcoin Jesus as an example, I mean he came out with a book where he pretty much outlines and explains the CIA infiltrated all the Bitcoin early groups. Epstein, I mean, now that we know this, like Epstein invested like $12.5 million into, or like 2/3 of the Bitcoin developers in the early days took Epstein money. Not all of them, but like 2/3 of them did. So damn. And so basically the government and these, what do you call them, Mossad, the CIA, the FBI, but it's mostly like the CIA infiltrated the early Bitcoin days. And one big important part of it was to make sure that globally Bitcoin was kind of bastardized, not allowed to basically scale, but kind of take on that gold narrative. And on the other side, to make sure that all exchanges and all international exchanges essentially are trading crypto in dollars. And now with like all the with basically every country on the planet is making a central bank digital currency, which is our local currency, so that's fine. But everyone's also making stable coins. All the major corporations are making stable coins. The stable coin growth, the business model is basically take 90% of the money of the dollars you get in deposits and buy U.S. treasuries with it. So essentially, as the global, like if the global country, that's where we're in this weird middle period where like as more and more, as we hit the higher part of the S curve, as more people join in and the global customer joins in, their energy or their economic energy is essentially loaning the United States money. But that hasn't hit that large of a scale yet, because it's like all of cryptos, I mean, like what, $2 trillion. But if you look at all stable coins, it's nowhere near that. Like, we're not, I mean, it's hundreds of billions of dollars, but it's not, tens of trillions of dollars. But that's like kind of like a bit of like the release valve, at least on the dollar. And then like imagine like right now Argentina, and like their currency is hyperinflated like 99% already, so if you look at it right, like a lot, if you live in like Central America and stuff, because I speak Spanish and everything like that, and you live in a lot of the parts of the world, you're fucking crazy not to be in crypto, or at least get access to dollars. So it's kind of like making a lot of currencies weaker, basically, and because global trade's kind of weak right now as well, the currencies are basically like going to shit because they have to sell them to get oil right now. So it's a lot of stuff right now. Like it's good. Like if you're a content creator and you're blowing up, the economy's awesome.
Yeah, well, how about out there in Las Vegas? I mean, you live like in the one of the discretionary spending capitals of the country. Do you notice anything different going on out there?
In the beginning, I'd say it's weak. Las Vegas is kind of weaker in 22, 23, 24, especially 24 and 25. But it's starting to recover a little bit over here in 2026 now. Traffic's back up. You're starting to see more people on the strip, but I think it was a little bit overblown in Las Vegas. But definitely it got quieter on the weekdays, and then weekends are still pretty full. There's a lot of events here still, but absolutely they're not as packed. I mean, really, like you really need to do like a strip club index. Like that's really like the economy is like, if men have lots of money, they're spending it on fucking bullshit and women. So I mean, I think one of the best things to do would be like interview a bunch of like strip club managers. Probably not the strippers themselves, because I mean they're like, you could have one that's popping and just making money and she's like, everything's awesome, right? But like you talk to a lot of these heads of strip clubs and stuff, they would probably tell you like, oh yeah, it's kind of weak right now, and that'll tell you everything you know about the economy.
You see, the way I see it is that, and everybody in the chat, let me know if Miguel's audio is good. Somebody said it was choppy, so go ahead and hit us. Like, is it still choppy? We'll see if we can fix it if it is. But like the way I'm seeing it right now is like, you've seen the stat that 1/2 of young adults still lives with their parents.
Yeah.
And I see that, and I'm thinking, well, that's not just an indication that the economy is not good. That's an indication that, like, the economy is not going to be good for a while, because if you live with your parents and you're a guy, you know what you're not doing is you're not dating. You're not going out
Right.
trying to meet girls or anything, because what's going to happen? Like, if the date goes well and you want to take her home and get some action, well, you're not going to do that when in your parents' house or anything. And certainly no girl's going to go home with you when that's the case. So I'm thinking, if there's no spending by men on the pursuit of women, and there's certainly like no competition for women among men, and the women don't have to do any spending on making themselves look nice or anything, well, this is a big blow to the economy, because so much of the economy is depending on not just romance and the relations between the sexes, but also the families that may come forth from that. So there are some more costs down the road that I would imagine some people may be front running or something. Like, do you see anything like that your from your viewpoint?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, most people I know either. I mean, if they're lucky, they live with some roommates, basically. But yeah, most people are living with their parents now. That is historically normal. You do usually live with your parents a long time, right? I mean, it's just kind of in the last, I would say, the last like 60, 70 years, like since the 50s, you kind of like the economy was so good that you essentially, as soon as you turn 18, you can kick rocks, you know, rent some little space, and eventually you'd have your own house because things were cheap. But we're talking like through like hundreds and hundreds of years or thousands of years. Yeah, people live with their parents forever, especially in Spanish culture, Portuguese culture, right? Or Catholic culture. That was pretty normal, but like maybe it's a return to the normal, basically. But I mean, you're right. It is like, at least here in America, the last 100 years, like you could get your own place and stuff like that. I do remember like when I think I've lived, I think I've like multiple times in my life, I've like rented my own place out and then gone back to my parents and stuff, but mostly because like the people I rented from were like, I'm sorry, my daughter's coming back. I need you out of here in 2 months or something. I'm like, all right. And then like I go back to my parents' house, and then like 6 months later, I find another spot and then like move in and like, basically, or they're gonna sell the property, and then the new people are gonna move in, and then eventually, I just found my permanent spots basically at that point. But that was more situational, basically.
Yeah.
But it was difficult. It's always been expensive to live on your own. It always has. But I can only speak to like from 2010 onwards. I can't really speak to like how it was in the early 2000s or the 90s. It was probably a lot easier. But it kind of is what it is. But yeah, it is harder for everybody. I mean, but I'm in the red pill. That's kind of like, I know all about this kind of subject and stuff when it comes to like how expensive everything is. But you also got to remember, women are just as poor. More women are getting like college degrees, but that's like older women, and like most guys, when they're thinking about women, they're not thinking about women in their 30s, or thinking about women in their 20s. And there is always that rule, if a woman really wants to fuck you, she'll fuck you.
Absolutely. And like Aaron Clary's solution to the whole thing is, well, live with mom and dad for now to save the money, and then just rent a hotel room when you think that there's going to be some action happening that night on a date. Everybody in the chat, trying to adjust it over here on my microphone, but I would also say go over to Rumble too. It should be better over on Rumble. I think it may play a better audio for you guys there. So anyway, let's get right into crypto right here. So what is your assessment? Is it bull time? Is it bear time? You think it'll be good times ahead, or still some bad times ahead? Where do you think we stand right now in the cycle that we just
right now we're in DCA time, but it does look like we probably have one more drop, and that's okay. That's okay. Like, we got one more drop, but we're in people in crypto aren't sitting on like hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in stable coins right now. Most people, hey, you're lucky you got 10 grand on the side. That's great. Save that and then use it when the drop happens. Be able to, like, every month or every week, depending on how you get paid, you need to deposit money into the account. I mean, I've been recommending this for a long time. Half half of your money into Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can choose either one or just all into Bitcoin. The other half into whatever you want. It could be Pulsechain. It could be 100% Pulsechain. But this is, and we're going to talk about this because we were kind of talking about this a little, off camera, but kind of talking about like why there was a lot of very salty people in Pulsechain during the bear market, and also during this happens. This is not Pulsechain exclusive. This is not a Pulsechain exclusive. This happens to a lot of communities. I mean, every single one, even for Bitcoin. There's people who like levered themselves out. They thought Bitcoin was going to go crazier. They bought it $100,000, and now they're down, and they're thinking about selling it all here, or killing themselves, even though they're not even down that much, right? Because it's all dependent on like everybody else, right? Because exactly. What's his name? Abyss Chaos is like, everyone's trying to time the bottom. Yeah, we're close enough. Like everyone's saying that Bitcoin's going to go to 30. The only way Bitcoin goes to 30 grand is the Federal Reserve increases interest rates and the stock market takes a fat shit. Maybe that's enough. It might even take like interest rate increase, stock market crash, oil goes to like $150 a barrel. All right, I'll give you 30K Bitcoin. But then all these guys are saying, I'm waiting for 30K Bitcoin. Do they even have the testicular fortitude? Do they have the balls? They're like, just on their dating life, they're afraid to say hi to a girl. You think you're going to buy the bottom? You've never been up in that ass. You've never been in that cooch, bro. Like, what are you talking? Like, how many times have I bought the bottom? Every fucking time that I've been in crypto, because I'm not scared, right? When I deposit my money into crypto, I was like, it's gone to zero, baby. Fuck it, let's go. Like when I didn't have money, I was like, fuck it, I'm poor already. What's the difference now? Let me be poor more and put it in. I mean, like that's the fucking truth. Like, I mean, I bought Bitcoin at 3,000. Was it? I bought Bitcoin $3,800 and $3,300. 33 was basically, depending on the exchange. Some exchanges went to 3,100, 3,300. The exchange I was using at the time, because you really couldn't buy. I mean, still now you can't. That's actually some bullshit. You really can't even buy Bitcoin on exchanges. Really, you're buying like counterparty risk, right? So you're not buying real Bitcoin, but I did buy like $3,300 and $3,800 Bitcoin back in like 2019, and and then recently I bought $15,800. I didn't buy $15,500, but I bought $15,800 BTC. How many people bought that low? Like even like all the top traders and chart guys, they didn't have the balls to buy until 20,000 or 25,000. But still, that's a W. It's still a W, right? And those guys are like trained. I mean, for the most part, trained professionals here in crypto, and they have the money to do it. But like most people don't have the balls to buy down there. They don't, because they're like, it's going to 30. Fuck, this shit might go back to 25. It might go to 20. We might go to 20K, because 20K in 2017 was the last bull market, was the last bear market top in 2017. Like, and that's how people are. Like, it's always a new bottom, right? It's always going to get worse, right? But people have to just get going. Just start on the DCA. Like, I would probably put 80% of the money you're willing to put into crypto, 20% into stable coins, 80% into the market right now. Just do it, because you need the most amount of time to get the most amount of money in the market while the prices are at the lowest, or forever.
Okay. Yeah. So you say start DCA, and now is kind of like what you're telling your students?
Yes. I've been saying it for the last I'd say 3 or 4 months now, because we bought like when BTC hit like 57,000 or 56, or I'd say 57, or it hit 59 for the first time, or 60. Like, we've been DCing there. All the like literally almost all the coins we recommended are up. Pulsechain's up from then. From like, for the last crypto mindset course, when we were doing the sales, we were on Fresh and Fit, and we were doing all this stuff. Literally everything's up still from at that point. BTC is higher than at that point. Ethereum's higher than that point. Hyperliquid, Tau, Zcash is higher. Pulsechain's higher. The entire ecosystem's higher than that point. And you just go throughout the list of like the top coins of what you perceive that has value is higher still. So even if we drop back down, if we're lucky, we'll retouch those lows again. So you just need to maximize the time. I mean, literally, like, what's the difference? Right now, if I buy Bitcoin at 64, it goes to 67. Like, we're talking about a couple grand. We're talking about 20%. We're like, you need to just maximize because you need the most amount of time to DCA. So imagine if you only DCA'd at 57 and then you wait until the next drop, you missed out on like fucking 5 months of not buying.
Yeah, it's true. Benjamin Cowan, the 4-year fundamentalist of our space, and really the Sheldon Cooper of crypto here, is basically saying that he thinks the bottom is going to be in October, and there's going to be something to occur to push the price down further. You think he's on to anything with that?
Because there's Benjamin Cohen and who's the other guy? There's like one more. Bob Lucas.
Bob Lucas, yep.
I mean, I respect Bob Lucas a lot. People think that a lot of my students think like, oh, you hate Bob. No. I respect the guy. The guy's very smart. He wins. He has a strategy and he executes. But I get mad of all the chart dudes that follow him. Like, they wait until he says something, then the next day they say the same thing and they make it sound like they came up with it. Like, I gotta watch a chart guy, see what he says. He's like it's almost, they're like parrots. He's like, if like he goes like, BTC bottom in, and then the next day, you guys, I think the bottom's in, you guys. I really like sheep, and he could be right, no, for sure. I mean, but even last cycle, like he didn't buy until like $20,000 or $25,000, 28,000, 30,000. Like his range where he bought most of his Bitcoin was 20 to 30. Like our range was literally was 15,000, but then from there I kept DC. So I had another, not just $5,000, but I had an extra 2 extra months more of being able to buy between 15 to 30 grand. And I bought all the way up to like I stopped. I told my students to stop buying Bitcoin at $52,000, right? So we DCA'd from 15,500 all the way to $52,000, right? Which was, so it was the end of 22, DCAing into Bitcoin until basically February or March of 2024. That's a long time. All that Bitcoin is in profit. Still, after all these years, oh my God, the drop. Oh my God, Richard Hart not being here. Oh my God, fucking a sailor selling Bitcoin. Oh my God, the ETFs are starting to sell billions of dollars of fucking Bitcoin. Oh my God, this. Everything that's gone wrong, right? The cold call wallet hack. That BTC that I was DCAing for 2.5 years, still in fucking profit. After all this, it still hasn't got, the closest we got is 57. So for like if we drop one more time, we do drop to 48K, because personally, I think 48K is about the lowest we go. It's a wick down to 48. 52 is going to be the low for the most part. Okay. Because it's $1 trillion market cap. That's where I believe we're going to go to at the most. Like on it. And that's why, like, I'm like 50, like if I'm buying at 57, what the fuck's the difference between 52 and 57? Nothing. Who cares? Percentage wise, it's nothing. Who cares? Like, so I'm just like, wait, I might as well maximize my time as income comes in so I can just get more coins. And the reason I'm talking about Bitcoin here is because the lower Bitcoin goes, Pulsechain will go down. Everything will go. It's the main thing I teach in the courses is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are the thermometer to how Bitcoin is, right? Like I would say altcoin thermometer is Ethereum, but like Bitcoin's is the thermometer for overall the entire heat of like the rest of the market. So like it's almost like how hot the sauna is Bitcoin, and how much eucalyptus oil this asshole throws in is Ethereum. On the rocks and shit. We're like, God damn, motherfucker. Your eyes are like fucking crying and bleeding and shit. So like that's really like really like the NOS is Ethereum, but like the overall fuel of the entire bull run is Bitcoin. And that's just how it is, like in absolute terms. So like I mean, I hope that kind of answers the question.
Well, we're going to have more to ask about Ethereum specifically right here. But before we move on to that there, we want to point this out. We had some breaking news today here that the Trump media just disclosed that they got about 14,000 Bitcoin, which I don't know if that's really going to be enough to cause like some serious damage here or anything. But here's what I think is maybe Benjamin Cowan is getting at. And also George Gammon has been talking a lot about this lately here. Oh, I should probably put this on the screen. Yeah, George Gammon's been talking a lot about this here lately, that the situation with Saylor and strategy it's just a no-win situation. He's really dug himself into a hole with his financial engineering, and that's going to put some downward pressure on Bitcoin. But I'm also like concerned about this Trump thing here because I mean, I don't want this to happen, but I got a feeling it is going to happen. The Democrats are going to win the midterms, and they're going to really gun for crypto because of how heavily Trump was involved in it, and they're going to like try to do some insider trading investigations on it. We saw Crow just severed their relationship with Trump media because I think they're
Did
doing
Trump,
damage
did Trump
control.
media sever it, or did Crow sever it?
Well, the report was that Trump media severed it.
Yeah.
I would think that it was a mutual thing, though, because I think Crow can read the room and determine, hey, if the Democrats win, we're in trouble here because they will investigate us or something and put our name in the headlines negatively. So, like this,
but maybe they
wouldn't
care. They wouldn't care. They would maybe just still like investigate them anyway, because of, like, the documents are there, so the paper trails are already there already. And like one other thing too is the timing is not lost. Like one of the big things I've said about, like, you know, like the top of the bull run and kind of like when the bull run was over was October 10th, like 10-10 after that crash. We still maintained kind of prices, but we kept sliding, and then we just really crashed, right? But that 10-10 was in a retaliation attack from the Chinese against Trump for putting tariffs on China, or threatening to put higher. We already had tariffs, but like to putting back the tariffs on China. And who facilitated the attack? I mean, literally 2 weeks before, Justin Sun, who invested a bunch of money into World Liberty Fi and essentially had positions in the Trump meme coin and had positions in USD1, which is Trump's stable coin, he left. He left and then did some kind of borderline illegal shit where he sold his locked shares to Bitfinex, and then he basically sold his entire position and gave his locked supply over to Bitfinex. So he got all his money out. Then, so like, let me sell my locked portion. And like, here, you want some T-shares? I'll sell you my T-share. Like, I want 1-for-1 T-share to this. Okay. Then he he sold it, and then he ran off with the money. And then literally a week or two later, there was a flash crash that happened. And the flash crash, look at all the coins that crashed first. The Trump meme coin, World Liberty Fi, USD1 unpegged. And who were the largest holders of USD1 and all those meme coins and all the Trump meme coins? Or I mean, I would count World Liberty Fi as a meme coin at this point. It really is a fucking meme coin. Of course I did, brother. Come on, bro. I got more HEX than anyone. Fuck, bro. I got bags, dog. And I didn't even sell my fucking HEXs like cycle. I mean, I took some profits and then I rebought back in, and I got bags, dog. I got everything except ProveX. I have never got any ProveX. It's on zero right now, but I've got I got so much EHEX and PHEX and shit, and Pulsechain and Pulsechain. I mean, I got everything, dogs. PGC as well. Anyway,
yeah.
But
you think so? You got anything to say about Saylor, though? You think he's really dug himself into a hole that's going to cost the rest of the market?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So I think you're right. I think who's the guy you said again? It was what's his name? Who was saying this? It was
George Gammon's been covering it a lot lately.
Yeah, George Gammon's a smart guy. I've met him multiple times. He's a fucking tall motherfucker too. Goddamn, he's fucking really tall. He's a good guy. Absolutely agree with him. It's good do if you don't like but it's all of his own creation. In order to create the hype and do this, he's like, I'm never selling any Bitcoin. I'm doing this. Only accumulate. Like, I play memes of him. It was like of him of just showing like how like it's literally, there's not one word taken out of context. Like, he literally said that, and you just add dramatic music to the background of him just like, sell everything. I mean, sell your family business, anything that isn't attached to the ground, sell it for BTC. You're crazy. And if it's a family business, you own it for generations, take a mortgage on it, leverage it, and buy the greatest asset on planet Earth. So, you know, it's sort of like Richard for years, like acquire, and then you catch him like, yeah, I started selling Pulsechain and like HEX. You're like, what the fuck? Like, it's like imagine like Richard had to buy his own token, right? And then he's like, you ask him, he's like, oh yeah, I've never staked any HEX ever. What do you mean? Like, bro, you told me for fucking a decade to, you know, stake and ladder my HEX, and it's like, oh, I've never even staked it before. What the fuck? You know, it's something like it's like, wow. But he has to, because he's made financial compromises and he's to take out these loans and stuff. But I'm surprised he even sold the Bitcoin, because he raised a bunch of money recently. He should have plenty of money, but maybe the loans that he took in 21 are starting to come due, and he needs to start paying them. So, but a lot of that money that was taken in 21 was at a really good interest rate. But like, maybe the loans in 23 and 24 and 25 at much higher interest rates are starting to kind of eat him up, and he has to start paying the interest on that, or the payments on that. It's very interesting. Yeah. But just to go to the previous point, But I mean, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. See, I do think that he is going to have to. He's going to run into some legal trouble, so he's going to have to sell some Bitcoin to cover the legal bills that will be coming his way. Is what I think is happening with Saylor, just because he walks a very dangerous line here with like what he's allowed to say as far as the SEC, because particularly for that stretch preferred stock that he issued. I mean, he was out there saying, "Oh, this is like just as safe as a CD or a savings account or something." Like, you can't say that with preferred stock in particular, because preferred stock, like, it's really not preferred when you look too close. When you look a lot closer at them, I mean, it's kind of like the worst features of a bond and the worst features of common stock married together. So I do think that puts pressure on Bitcoin, possibly pushing it down a little bit further, which may allow Ben Cowan to get his wish about the 4-year cycle coming true, and we have a lower low in October. And then I think, like, if Democrats win the election in November, that will spook a lot of investors, just because they know investigations and the lawfare that they pulled on Trump, that's all coming back, and this time crypto could be in the crosshairs with that.
No, exactly. No, I mean, but like I think Abyss in the chat was right. Like, they've been going after him the whole time, no matter what. So, like, I mean, it's going to happen no matter what, and they're trying to go after him because I mean, they're basically, the Democratic Party is still in shambles, even though, like, I think they will win a lot of seats in the midterms coming up. But the party as a whole doesn't have any presidential. I mean, right now they're flirting and they're putting money behind like Hunter Biden right now.
Really, it's not Gavin Newsom.
Gavin ain't gonna win, dog. He is. When you look at him from far away, he looks perfect. Good looking, tall white guy with a white woman, has white kids, like it looks like a good person and shit, but isn't. Has run. If you look at his track record, he's run California into the ground. Further, I mean, like, honestly, like, I'm in California, and I lived in California for most of my life. Most of my, like, from, like, I would say like 28 down, I've lived in California. The rest of my time, I've kind of lived in Vegas and Miami. And like, I care for my state a lot, but like, you can't live there. The taxation is fucking. It's the worst ever. The worst. I mean, you're basically, if you make more than $1 million, you guys, like, say goodbye to like 50% of it, 52% of it. 52%. 52%. So one day I worked for California and the government, and the next day's for me. Then this day's for this. And that, like, literally every other day is not yours. That's insanity. And even moving states and doing everything you can, and doing as much as you can in terms of, like, being able to, like, long-term capital gains and putting things in tax advantage situations, you're still working about like a third of the year for the government still. Maybe 28%, but like, it's ridiculous. But he made California affordable. I don't know. I mean, for the homeless, maybe. It's bull. I give you all the, but like, there's this guy. What's Jerry Brown? I think Jerry, like, the destruction of the state started with Jerry Brown. He's like one of the longest term run in, and like in the beginning, it's like, if you look, even Schwarzenegger, like, Schwarzenegger wasn't even that great. And I love Schwarzenegger as a movie star, as a bodybuilder. He's an icon, and I really respect him, but like, he didn't do much for California. He even made, like, this is the biggest mindfuck for even like me. Like, imagine you're the governor, right? And I say this with the most respect, because I do respect this guy. I hope to work out with him one day. That's kind of a goal of mine. But imagine you're the governor, and then you ban weights in prisons when you're known for working out. Like, it's like that was like the religion in jail. Like, I'm gonna be here a long time. Your religion is the religion of iron, and you remove the iron, and you got famous from the iron. Like, that was like, even as a kid, when I remember, because I think I was in high school when he was governor, and I was like, what the fuck? That was a mind fuck to me. I was like, wait, what? What do you mean you're getting rid of the weights for the prisoner? Like that's like therapy for them. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. Like, yeah. I don't know. All of them have been psycho shit since, and then some of them have been like, imagine you're so bad as governor that they're like, let's go back to Brown because he's the only guy that's kind of decently running shit. And then, like, it just kept, but as time goes on, you get more crazies, and it just keeps getting worse. So like, it all started with him, and just all of them have been bad. I don't think there's been a single good one. Maybe since Reagan.
Exactly.
All of them. All of them, dude. Like, literally all of them. And even Reagan isn't perfect. He did a couple of retarded things too.
Yep.
You know.
Speaking of the past here, I guess now would be a good time to talk about this here. See, this was 2025. And even though Leia Halpern is out there saying, oh, 2025 was this great year in crypto, everybody could have got so rich, but you all decided not to sell because you got greedy and waited for more. Well, when you zoom out, here's what the crypto market looks like when you take Bitcoin out of it. This looks very, very flat. Like we had a nice, good pop throughout 2024. May have had a little pop right here, but this is pretty flat to me here. This doesn't look like there's any life-changing wealth going on.
I'm sorry, what influencer did you say?
That was, you know her, Leia Halpern, right?
Oh, Leila Halpern. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
You know
sorry,
Leia Halpern, that girl.
Yeah. I mean, I will. Okay, look. I got to give her some flowers here, just a little bit. Like I'll call a spade a spade. She was telling people to get out, and she did basically call the top. So I'll give hey, respect. But I think she's getting the bottom wrong for the average person. I think for her, she's got enough crypto people in the background because I don't think she's. I mean, I think she's reading the news 24/7, but I don't think she's charting and like really doing all the crypto shit. Like I think she has people, right? Of course she has, right? She's a nice person too. I mean, I've met her in person. She's cool and stuff like that. Her brother's kind of a fucking retard. I mean, he is. He's a fucking midget retard. Try to come up to me, thinking like he was gonna beat me up with some bottle when he's like 5'0".
Yeah, man, she's a 4-year fundamentalist. Well, then I totally get it, man. If you just want to follow a 4-year cycle, you want to follow a 4-year cycle. But like, we also look at this chart right here. It's throughout 2025, crypto was the worst performing asset, while everything else did very good. So that's what we want to talk about next here is like why crypto at large just underperformed in 2025. Can you like kind of take us through like how you see it, like why that happened? Maybe like, I'm sure you and Charlie have had many discussions about it. What are like some of those discussions like between you guys? Why do you think it was such a disappointing year across the board in crypto?
Right. So, okay. So, I mean, pretty much it comes down to interest rates were increasing. That was probably the number one thing. We went from January of 2022 from 0.25. We had a 25 or 50 basis point increase. And in 2 years, the interest rates increased by 525 basis points.
I mean, like the interest rate on the 10-year Treasury, because like the Fed
the overall funds, the Fed fund rate.
Aren't they lowering it a few times in 25? I think they started lowering it in September.
So I said from 2022, so 2 years, so 2022, 23, and 24, they increased rates, and then after that, they started lowering them. So like, what I mean is like during the peak, so during 2022, which is the main bear market year, 2023, the recovery year, and then basically when we started getting ETFs, rates were going up. And then finally they started coming down, and like they started lowering interest rates in 24, especially I think at the beginning of the year. Then around the 50 basis points around the time that we ended up getting the the presidential election. Right before that happened, they lowered interest rates 50 basis points. The presidential election happened. They said they didn't want to get political, so they left the rates where they were. All right, I can almost respect that to a point. All right, we're gonna lower interest rates instead of 25. We're gonna do 50 basis points to cover like one now and then one that was supposed to be in the middle of the election because we don't want to get political. We don't want to help both sides, even though it did help Biden out a little bit. Cool. The election happens. Trump wins. Cool. They could have lowered rates in December or November. I have to look at the Fed fund rate.
That was a hawkish cut they did. I remember we started going down in December after that Fed meeting.
Right. So they didn't do that. So, okay. So basically, if I remember, it was April or May when they cut. They didn't cut any more in 24. Okay, now January. All right, brand new year, brand new me. No cut. So let's look. So I'll take a look real quick. Like I literally have it in front of me. So let me go 2024. So April, May. So right here. So it was the first one they cut. So they waited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 meetings before they cut again. So they basically didn't cut for a year and a half. That's the problem. The problem is, okay, they cut in May 1st, right? No more cuts afterwards until the presidential election was done. They should have started cutting in January. They fumbled. They fumbled the January 29th meeting. Okay. Then March 19th. No. Okay. Then May 7th. No. Then June 18th. No. Then July 30th. No. Then September 17th. Then September 17th is when they finally did cut. Right. If they had cut earlier and had, if basically they wait, that's really one of the reasons why 2025 didn't go higher. Like, honestly, I don't think even the top, like, we probably, if they had cut in January and been cutting into it, we probably would have hit somewhere closer to probably, like, worst case, like 148 to like 160 would have been probably the top on BTC with those cuts. Hopefully higher, but those cuts basically we were too restrictive on the monetary policy at the time. And then basically this is why the Fed's in trouble now, is because they didn't cut rates. Now they have to increase rates. If they had cut rates in 25, they could have increased rates in 26 and then had the leeway to start cutting later on. But that's kind of the problem, is that they put themselves into a hard spot. And I don't blame the current Fed chairman right now. This is completely Jerome Powell's fault that we're in this position. Jerome Powell did everything right. Like, literally, he soft landing us. He printed money when he needed to. He increased rates to a dramatic extent when he needed to. He rolled off the balance sheet as much as he could. He paid down almost like in 80-90% of the what do you call it, the overnight repo market, to basically get it down as low as possible. So he set us up in a good position, and then he started getting cute with politics. So I have no idea what the Democrats had on him.
You think it's that? Because I think it's like maybe it's because Trump was picking a fight with the Fed when he went after Lisa Cook.
Rates, but he should have been cut. But he was right. Trump's not wrong. Like, what are you doing? You should have been cutting. And look, Trump's a real estate man. He understands this, right? Like, the number one thing slowing the economy down is that real estate's slow. Like, the most important thing for Main Street is real estate. It's not fucking AI stocks. It ain't crypto. Most people make money off their house, because it's not just that. If a boomer's making money off their house goes up, they sell it. It's about the real estate agents make more money. The painter, the landscaper, the construction company, the roofer, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's depending on where in the country it is. Real estate is 40% of the fucking economy. 40%. 40%. From contractors to brokers to real estate agents to contractors to architects. Everything.
Home inspectors and repairmen, plumbers, electricians, everything. The economy is like so dependent on people owning homes.
Right. So, like, the rates needed to come down in 25, and it would have put then from there it became a pissing match, because then, like, Trump started going after the Fed, which they never do, and they got scared about. That's kind of one of the reasons why the current Fed has gone off to, like, we're no longer telling you what we're doing anymore. We're going to tell you during the meeting, and we're not going to kind of give you foreign guidance anymore. So start guessing, start gambling on what we're doing, because guess what? We're not going to tell you anymore. And that was mostly because the Fed is trying, they're basically stepping back. So in case something goes wrong in the economy, they can take a little bit less blame on what happens. Versus beforehand, they were like, I mean, one of the things Warsh recently said was, we want you to watch the ball, not the referee. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
and I mean, I do know a decent amount about politics. It just doesn't sound right to some people, because it's like, I'm not all 100% on the Republican or Democrat side. I'm just trying to call it as real as I can. But that's kind of what happened, is that rates should have been coming down in 2025. They did not. And not because they didn't. We're in a position where, like, job market's weak and inflation's going up. Fuck.
Yeah.
And it's their own fucking fault. Now they have to sacrifice the job market in order, because, like they said, our two number one mandates is a 2% inflation rate in a strong job market. But if the buck stops here, what is the most important thing they care about? Is their ability to print money. So if that's the case, then what that means is that they're willing to sacrifice and destroy the entire labor market and the stock market if it protects the inflation rate down and it protects their ability to print money. That's all they give a fuck about, really.
And that's what we're looking at right now on screen here. This is the Fed's balance sheet. And this really leads into my next question here for you, is that, everybody cites the 4-year cycle
Yeah.
as like the reason why crypto goes up, but very few people attempt to explain like what even causes that 4 year cycle. What is it that guides it, that governs it, that drives it? Now, I've got my thesis, and I think that it relates not exclusively to this here. I mean, this is just the Federal Reserve balance sheet,
Right.
but
Right.
I think of like balance sheets from all of the major central banks, such as Bank of Japan, the
Yeah.
ECB, not so much the People's Bank of China anymore, because like that just goes right into their real estate. But when I look at this here, I mean, they are printing money here again, and a lot of people were excited about the Fed that they were going to start doing. They're not calling it quantitative easing; they're calling it as the reserve management program here. And this looks like they printed a lot here, but when we zoom out, it's such a negligible amount
Right.
of money printing compared to the times where they did large scale money printing. Like, here was 2020, here
Yep.
was 2021, here was 2023 in March, which was a great time
Yeah.
to own altcoins right then. So, like, the
That,
money
that
printing.
is a big part of it. That is, I'm agreeing with you absolutely.
Okay,
Like,
great. Yeah, so I was thinking is like this is why 2025 wasn't that great, because all throughout 2025 they were doing the opposite of money printing. They were basically extracting money out of the economy. They just now started money printing, and it's very negligible amount here. I mean, if we look at it from the low, it's only up $200 billion, and when
yeah.
you're looking just even at U.S. Money supply, that is about 0.009%. That's not enough to move the needle, because like what my thesis had always been is that crypto goes up when the economy is just so overloaded with so much money that
Yeah.
we just don't know what to do with it. We got to put it somewhere, so we'll put it into whatever financial assets we can find. And the financial assets that have the most risk, or that they don't have cash flows or anything, those are the ones that are the most starved for liquidity. So they absorb the most new money printing. Like it will suck in, or it will at least go up the most when that new money enters the financial markets, just because money is being pushed down the risk curve to the riskiest asset, which is crypto. That's kind of like what my thesis is right here.
Yeah.
You say that's part of it. What would you say is in addition to that then? Like, what is it that causes crypto to go up?
I mean, okay, so I will say like gravity didn't really matter in crypto until like the 21 cycle, because 17 the market, the whole overall market of crypto was really small. So like the cycle, the reason we do run in a 4 year cycle is because of Bitcoin, but also we were at zero interest rates. Economy was recovering. Now, okay, I will, and for anyone that was alive during that time, 2009, 10, 11, 12 was kind of rough. It was kind of rough. Maybe you're lucky and you're making some money at the time, but fuck, man, my whole family was in construction. We're in California. Rough, bro. It was rough, man. I remember working for my father for like free for like ever. And then, so things are kind of rough at the time and shit. Cause I graduated in 2009. So like I went straight to work and stuff like that. So like it was the economy was not great. The economy was not great. I mean, it was worse then than it is now. Like that's one thing I could, let's say the economy is better today than it is then, even though that it's just because you guys weren't around back. It was just shit. That was really terrible, man. It was really bad. Like almost everyone I knew was almost losing their house. Everybody. We're nowhere near that point right now. But um, that's why like people like almost like fetishize like 2008 as such a big thing, because like I said before, a ton of the percentage of the economy makes their money off of real estate and real estate adjacent things, and that it's really big in the economy. And certain states were even bigger, especially like California makes a ton off of real estate. That's why it hit so hard in California. So, um, look at the Fed here, right? So the increase, so roughly we got to what, $9 trillion, right, at the top, basically, roughly, right? And they started lowering the balance sheet slowly, but they also started increasing the interest rate. But the interest rate didn't get that large until about like 23, and then this is when they really started taking the balance sheet down quite a lot. And this is what I'm saying is that he did a good job. Now we still went up in 24, not as much as we did, but we also got the extra help with the ETFs coming out and kind of like, look at all this good stuff that's happening and that are happening. And then BlackRock's in January, they get in at a $40,000 BTC and by the end of the year, we were we break the all-time high. So like, okay, and because Bitcoin's going up, but you're right, this deflation of capital kind of sucked out a lot of the craziness we would have had in altcoins. And I would say that this mostly hurt because the ETF really helped BTC out. Eventually we got the Ethereum ETF, but you're not getting the same level of DCAs in there, right? I think this cycle is different because we are going to start getting a lot more DCAs in Ethereum this time, and the ETFs are a lot older, so BTC and Ethereum are going to get a lot more inflows, basically, right? I think that for last time I looked, I think BTC gets 3 to 4 times more DCAs per month than the Ethereum ETF does, and the Ethereum ETF gets somewhere close 10 to 15 times more than the next ETF, XRP or Solana. Like, it's dramatic. So like the power scale difference is massive between, like, almost no one's buying XRP or Solana or Hyperliquid in comparison to, like, I think the last one I saw was like Ethereum DCAs were like 100 million, and then like BTC was 400 million. And then like you had like XRP at like 8 million, then Solana at 7, and I think you had Hyperliquid at $5 million across all the ETFs. So like massive, right? But that's going to grow over this next cycle because people know what they are, basically, and they're more established, and then it shows like, oh wow, that like it's still in profit, right? But yeah, as the interest rates went up and then peaked and then went down, one interesting thing is we did start, like in 2024, we did start getting rates coming down, which is good, and that's what kind of like saved it a little bit. But here's the problem: is that if you're going to keep rolling off the balance sheet, you need to let loose somewhere else. So like, we had interest rates increases and Fed balance sheet going down. So that was like sucking money out of the market and making it more expensive to borrow. But because the reason it didn't affect the market as much in the beginning is because the rate was so low that the increase wasn't that dramatic. But once we got to like 3% or higher, it started being constrictive, and then they kept taking stuff off. But then money printing was happening other places, and companies were borrowing money from banks, funneling it into AI. So kind of the AI trade kind of kept the stock market up. And then on top of that, you end up having the ETFs kind of propping up the crypto market as well. But now we're at this point where like, yeah, the rates needed to keep coming down, and now we're in a rock on a hard place because they can't roll the balance sheet off anymore. They have to start net increasing it slightly, and they can't really lower interest rates, but they also need to increase interest rates.
Exactly.
This is kind of their problem. They fumbled, like Jerome kind of fumbled it. That's why I say 25 is such a pivotal year. If they lowered rates lower, they would have some leeway to maybe increase rates by like 100 basis points, basically. And it would have been bad for the stock market, but they would have been like, the Fed's doing what's correct now and stuff. And of course, Trump still would have been mad because it's like, what are you doing? You should have lowered lower interest rates more. Why are you increasing them? But like, they don't have that. Like, that's why like they're trying so hard not to increase like their version of lowering is not increasing.
Yeah. All you guys watching in the chat right there, if you got a question for Miguel, get them in right now, because if Miguel thinks you asked an intelligent question, well, we got a prize to give you here then. Putting all the pressure on Miguel, though, to make that judgment and everything. But let's talk about Richard, because I asked RG3 this question when I had him on. And this was like something that's kind of curious to me, because like I understand why Richard is not streaming. I mean, he probably is paying millions and millions of dollars to his lawyers, and if they tell him, hey, don't talk, you follow their advice and you don't talk. But before he kind of like went dark on everyone, I mean, there's certainly some community members that he's in cahoots with. I mean, we saw him in Miami with you and Gary Woods and everything, so I imagine he must have like some way of being in contact with you guys or something. Like, did he say anything to you like before he went dark, so to speak, or was it just?
I think it was abrupt to him as well. I don't think he expected it too much. Obviously, he didn't live in the States. He only went to the States essentially to see his parents and kind of like, your parents get old. I mean, basically what he was saying was like, my parents are getting kind of old right now. I needed to like upgrade stuff for them because they're getting kind of rickety. and well, that's my word. He didn't say that, but like that's kind of what it was. He's like, I came here to do that, and then since I'm here, let me do some streams and see some Hexicans and kind of do like a little like world tour in the States, because the majority of Hexicans are from the United States. No, there's a ton of people in Australia, obviously, but like in other places, but pretty much most people are in the United States. And I don't think he had any inclination that that was going to happen at all. I think it just kind of came out, you know. Um, besides that, like I do think he's in contact with some people, obviously, but I think it has mostly to do with the tablets. Like I don't think Richard has gone anywhere away. I think he's still active, but he's just basically working on the tablet thing, and then pretty much like I think he's been developing something. I wouldn't be surprised if he's developing an AI token for Pulsechain right now. If I had to like guess on something, but I don't. He's probably gonna do a sacrifice for that too. Hopefully, he absorbs supply. Um, I kind of like had this whole idea like what he should have done is like gave bonus points for like stable coins in Ethereum, and gave like almost like a 50% kind of negative discount for like Hex or Pulse chain coins. That way, like you can still sacrifice your coins, but you're going to get much less points than someone sacrificing Ethereum. I think that would have been a good middle ground where like you could still sacrifice Hex or Pulse chain or Ink tokens or whatever. And like the one caveat I did have was like they should have gave like extra points for Ink token, because that way that absorbs supply, that brings yields up without really having to increase the amount of like yield that comes out per token on SwapX basically, or on, I'm sorry, it's not SwapX, on PulseX. That's the way I would have done the sacrifice for ProveX and stuff, but didn't really on deaf ears basically.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, like he actually, I'm not bluffing here when I say this. He actually watches these streams because when I had a wild SJ on, he retweeted the stream. So let's just assume Richard's watching right now. What would you want to say to him?
What's up, brother? Man, you need to do a couple. You need to do 4 streams a year at least in a dark Al-Qaeda room in a cave, and just give some updates and stuff. People just want to hear your voice, man. I mean, that's what people want, man. I mean, like, look at what happened to Cardano. Charles is getting shit on, and like, but he's still there. The coin's surviving. Like, unless, I mean, outside of Bitcoin, every coin needs the founder, and they need basically someone marketing it and championing it. Obviously, like people, like all of us, market it and do the best we can, but people want to hear from the head honcho. Like that's all. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, there's no getting around it. Like every major corporation's got their CEO. That's just it. Like there's no getting around it. Like, yeah, especially how much the Wall Streetified crypto's getting. Like, it is what it is. I mean, there's no way around it unless unless you die. That's the only way around it. Period.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that like his absence is primarily responsible for the bad price performance.
No, not in a bear market. Not in a bear market.
I do think though that like his absence hasn't really helped with the division in the Pulse chain community, and that leads to my next question here: is like, why do you think Pulse chain is so divided? Because like there are some guys that, man, I used to have a lot of respect for. I'm not going to name names, but there was ones that I've been on streams with. I've had good conversations with. They were in the spaces with Tam Tam and I, and we got along like friends and everything. And then they just turned into like some of the biggest haters, talking so much trash about Pulse chain and everything.
Corey Costa?
Yes, who apparently he can't help but show off how much weight he can lift at the gym, but he's making zero progress as far as his appearance goes. But yeah, they're still, I got the biggest haters here and everything. Like, what do you think is causing this here? Is it just the price action, or was it the HEX PHEX debate? What do you think was it?
So, okay. So you're gonna get this. The answer I'm about to give is from someone that's been in this ecosystem since like 2017 in the Strape chats. As OG as you can get in terms of Hex. I know a lot of these people. I know, and a lot of them were before they even started streaming, and like a lot of them started streaming from like Discord syndicated with me and RG3 back in the day, and like, so I'm saying this with like as an elder statesman who's like seen it evolve, and obviously you may not agree with everything I say, but I don't care. Like at least with some of the more vocal haters is because it gets some attention, and they most of them are like the reason they're shit talking Hex is because it gets likes and it makes people laugh because the price is going down a lot, and they try to talk about other stuff and no one's listening. because like all your followers are from Hex and Pulsechain. I mean, that's kind of what it is. Now, okay. So it basically is in a way it is Richard's fault in a way for not from what he was doing. It's because of his absence, right? So he created the ecosystem. He's still streaming. He created it. He launched it in 23, and he basically, if you look at it, like I watched all his streams, right? Like everyone did. He basically said that you're retarded for holding anything other than Hex. And he's like, oh, maybe you can use some USDC or Tether. Ugh, I guess. And like Ethereum, you need it a little bit for gas fees, but like it's kind of gay. That's it. That's literally. I mean, you can say what he wants, but like that's what, as a watcher of the streams from back in the day, basically like, I guess Ethereum if you really need it, because you do need it to buy Hex, and I guess a stable coin if you really like it. I get that's it, and then Hex is the only thing you should own. So so I've said this on a couple of streams, but I don't think people have listened to like in terms of what I really mean. Before, he was essentially in the religion of Hex. He was Jesus Christ. There was one God, right? And by him creating multiple coins, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Ink Token, he created essentially a pantheon of gods. Now it's okay to buy more than just Hex. This created EHEX, PHEX, Pulsechain, Pulsex, Ink. Okay. But it's still Richard Hart tokens. So like, all right, that's fine. So now the schism went, I'm only allowed to buy one thing. Now I can buy these 5 things, right? And now I can buy these 5 things. But it's still the same vein of like, if this is Richard Hart, it's still the same vein here. And the whole time for years, since like 2017, okay, let me put in, since 2020, you're retarded for buying meme coins. You're retarded for buying this. You're retarded for buying that. Litecoin stupid. It doesn't matter. XRP stupid in a way. Like, it doesn't matter. Anything else is retarded but Hex. Okay? Then it went into this. These things are okay for the most part. And he still kind of shit on Ink Token for sure. A little bit. And I agree with him. It's kind of worthless and useless. But that's his own fault because he didn't add any tokenomics to it, basically. He could have added tokenomics to it, but he didn't. But okay, fine. Cool. Then he disappears. And then because he disappears, he let the inmates run the asylum. Because a lot of streamers, right, are like almost like fake religious figures in a way, in terms of like, we're all cardinals in a way, like streaming cardinals. And as soon as like the Pope left, we still followed what the Pope said and what Jesus said, but then we started doing other things because they wouldn't do those things while Richard was there, because it was like kind of a cocksucking fest. Everyone was trying to get his attention, right? And I mean that in the gayest way possible. Truly, Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo, Amen. Right? I mean this in the gayest way possible. Is like, like they're just sucking up to him and whatever he said, because the way they're following is like, whatever Richard says, I have to parrot. And honestly, most of it's right. Like, a lot of what he says is right. There's a lot of wisdom in what he says, but the problem is that a lot of streamers came in and like we're just parroting what he says because it's a way for getting me to get followers and attention, because that ends up solving my end goal is like, and this is a lot of people's end goals, is they're trying to be famous. Me, everyone's trying to get fame. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, in this era, like, I'm trying to get the most amount of attention, and a lot of everyone's trying to be more holier than thou. And that's one big problem that I kind of got from the community for a long time, is that everyone was trying to be like, I'm the most hardcore Hexican. That was the big problem that I had in the ecosystem, and I got shit on for it in the beginning. Actually, like, I was kind of a black sheep from the first 4 streamers, because like I talked about other coins. Like, if you can look back on my content, I talked about Ethereum and Bitcoin. I talked about fucking Uniswap token. I talked about Celsius. I talked about Luna. I talked about all these coins. Sometimes not as an investment, but like just like to talk about it, or like, this is interesting, or like I was always like a big DeFi guy. And I was like, Miguel, you're kind of a black. You're like, why are you talking about these other coins, bro? Talk just about Hex, right? So that's kind of what happened. Is while Richard was around, the religion of the YouTubers and a lot of people on Twitter was like, who could be the most devout Hexican? Who could be the most devout Hexican? And then that's also why, like, I met Corey, and I don't think he's a bad guy or anything like that, but like, um, that's what happens to like that's what happens to like how Corey's acting and a lot of Hexkins are acting is how someone acts when they were like fully devoted to some chick or some dude, and they basically get cheated on and destroyed, and then they spend their whole day like shit talking the ex. That's exactly how it, because I'm in the red pill. I've seen it before. It's called red pill anger. They're in a red pill anger. It's because you were my entire religion. What the fuck? And now like you're not here anymore. Oh my god! And like that's what happens. So and that's what it is. So, as Richard Hart started like kind of disappearing, right, and like he wasn't streaming anymore, you started getting people making meme coins and making certain coins and talking about their stuff and speculating, and it started with, which was I think was a bad decision on his part, but I get for the marketing side, which was come over here to Pulsechain. You have a P copy. This was the first mistake. I think one of the first mistakes he did. Really big mistake. Airdrop. It was marketing. It just didn't work. It didn't. Now and then. So then it got into the mind. Well, Richard's saying that I should, like, well, if I do have coins, I could let me speculate. So he introduced speculation of other assets onto his chain. First mistake. So one mistake. He's now allowed this small kernel that could bloom into horse shit. Okay. And you have to think about this all in religious terms because it's just like splitting off of the religion of like the main Catholic Church into other religions, basically, right? And the cardinals are still there, but like now this is like, well, let me speculate on little P-Dye. Let me speculate on this wrapped Ethereum. Let me speculate on this stuff. Oh, let me get some staked Crow. Let me like people are now speculating these things. But it started from that right there. It started from right there, and then as the longer time he was gone, people started taking that. Well, look, since he allowed that, we can do this. But still, the main religious tenets were still there. Like, let's stay away from like most people weren't really speculating on meme coins. And then what did he do? He released pumped out tires. So God/Jesus Christ is now allowing shitcoinery, where before it was against the religion completely. You are not allowed to cheat on your wife. Richard just told me I could fuck around, motherfucker. Yes. And these cardinals, who are these fake cardinals who are shitcoiners in secret, and we're in rugging shit or poor, and then took checks and took money from other content creators and shit to fucking rug shit. We're finally like, we just got the biggest green light of our whole fucking life, and Richard's not here to say no to any of this. And then when Richard launched Pump That Tires, whether he did it or not, I mean, come on, the stuff like whether he did it or not. The creator address magically created all these coins, and I said, well, it's the approved crypto list, so you have to. We got the first speculation run where people are invested in the RH token or the Pump Tire token or the Solana or the XRP or the HEX or whatever. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened, and because of that schism, these cardinals ran with it and then eventually became their own popes and their own religions. Because Richard's not here to slap anybody up and come back. That's where it all went to shit, right there. Because he allowed.
Thinking, yeah. Like once people started launching their own stuff, and when some stuff turned out to be scams, like the ones I can remember are Pulse Latina, like how that one became a problem. Like there were people who believed in it and they shilled it, and some people got hurt, and now you got people mad at each other because of it, and then. Even if you launch something with noble intentions, man, I don't know if they were noble or not. I don't think it was a good idea still. But like when Go.Pulse released their Go token, people were already going to be mad just because of how many times we've been burned by people that were releasing their own tokens, which ties into one of our viewers' questions here. 5555 Latest asks, do you guys believe that marketing and shilling should be more focused on HEX than on Pulsechain? I see with this pump, everybody's come out and started shilling their own altcoins within Pulsechain. Me, I've always been a core coins only guy on Pulsechain. How about you, Miguel? What do you think?
I'm about like 90-10 for the most part. Like I'm pretty much like 90%. Like I always have a little. You have to speculate now. You have to speculate a little bit, but like Yeah, 90% of your money should be in cores, 95%, but like, hey, why not? Let's see what it is. But like, here's the problem is that if you're going to speculate on some of these coins, please create a different wallet that you're playing around. Condom. This is something I like, but believe it or not, this is actually what I'm talking about here was actually, they use my system for the CIA, actually. Not even joking around. I swear.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I'm serious. Compartmentalization of wallets. Wherever the main bag of your Pulsechain coins are, your main ones, you should not be fucking swap. You only should be using Pulsex. That's it. That's all you should be using that on that wallet maximum. You can even take it to an extent that you don't even ever have even used Pulsex on that wallet. And then you have a secondary wallet that you only use to swap into other main coins. And then you have a third wallet that you'll use these repothicators or these things sort of like cow swap as an example, like or use these other dexes. Like you have to take away, like you have to use your condom to fuck these hoes. Right? I have my wives. Right? But if I'm gonna fuck outside of my marriage, I'm gonna be using a condom and gonna be using a wallet that if they rug me, instead of taking the whole stack, they take the one little coin I deposited in that wallet. And I'm not wrecked. And that's one of the main things. If you guys can take one thing away, just don't have all your coins on one wallet. Yeah, don't have all your coins in one wallet. It's just a smart idea, and it'll protect you. And then if there ever is a compromise on your device, it's only that one. And on top of that, if you were to connect a hardware wallet to it, do not connect the same hardware wallet to every other fucking wallet. You should have, if you really are to the point where you have so many fucking wallets and so much money, you should have like one hardware wallet for this one hard wallet for that one, and one for that one, and a bunch of like hot wallets and condom wallets. Basically, you have to be smart about this stuff. And then like this is what I teach in the course, and then this is why my guys have like the least amount of rugs that's happened to them, because we trust nothing. We trust no email. We trust no text message. We don't trust anybody. I don't trust it. Pulsechain hit me up. I ignored that bitch. The fuck? I don't give a fuck if you got a fucking $2 fucking pussy and shit. Like, what the fuck do I like? This is also why I teach the red pill, the actual red pill in crypto, and why we call ourselves the red pill of finance. This is why like we've been on Fresh and Fit, and we've been through, Aaron Clary, Rollo Tomasi's my business partner, Charlie as well. But like we're in this whole space because guys fall for these stupid fucking things. If you learn the sex side of women and better, you fall for less scams overall. That's right. Because you're just more aware of shit. Because you're thinking about like, what is like this is a big thing. I remember I learned this lesson back in the day when I played World of Warcraft. There was this fucking, at the time to me, this was a hot ass girl, some hot ass college girl and her boyfriend. The college girl was flirting with me all the time. I was like 16, 17 at the time. Then I had this magical thought in my head. She was like, Miguel, would you give me some coins, some money? Because like I was very rich, like I am now in gold back in World of Warcraft. She was asking me, she was like, will you help me with something? Sure, I'll help you with something because we're friends and we're in the same guild. But then she was like, can I have some money, Miguel? And then I thought in my brain, is this bitch going to give me the pussy? No. So I said, I told her literally, go ask your boyfriend.
That's right.
That's it. At 17, even I knew, like, it's simply, and I was a blue pill fucking chump. Blue pill chump. Even I knew, there is no way for me to score. There's like, my rod cannot enter. And also, there's no even chance of me making out with her. She's in fucking Michigan. I'm in California. I'm fucking 16 or 17. Nah, this ain't it. And then she didn't even send fucking full. And I knew something was up because her boyfriend was in the guild too. And then she was sending me like semi nudes or whatever. And then I was like, don't you have a boyfriend? Like, but guys are so stupid and they're so horny. You know what I mean? And it's just like getting control of that. I'm not saying, like if your chick wants to fuck you and you're single and shit, I mean, do what you got to do, but also you got to be careful. Like, how crazy is this fucking bitch too? You got to turn it down. Like, yeah. This is why I do teach this, because guys fall for, like, none of my guys fell for Pulsechain. Zero. Not one motherfucker. In the 21,000 students I've had over the last 5.5 fucking years, 0 students fell for Pulsechain. 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
0. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're about to get into like some of the lessons from Crypto Mindset course, but that's like, well, there's a lot of people that complain about the coins you recommended maybe that didn't perform. What they've probably forget though is like the pain that you may have saved them from, because I remember like back in 2022, like not that many of your students fell
Yeah.
for the Luna token thing.
Right, right.
And not that I don't think any of your students were involved at all, like had any money on FTX when that went down either.
Very, very small, very
Or
small.
Celsius, like you were telling people to get off of Celsius, weren't you?
Yeah. So like, okay. So just to clarify, so I did get into Luna, but we got into it as a trade. So we got into it, and then we're like, so this is where like by being in Hex, I have seen like it going from a coin to a religion, from a religion. So it went from a coin to a cult to a religion. Right? It's a religion in a way. It's a religion / cult. It's there. And then I saw the Luna coin go from a coin solid project to a cult religion. And when it's a hex flex, all the hex flex stuff. When I see a bunch of people who were like didn't have as much money and blow up and make money, I'm very happy. But I started seeing people that are very well mannered, very good people start acting cocky and kind of like asshole-ish on Twitter. And I saw the same thing in Luna, and I was like, oh no. So I saw, and Luna was almost all Asians. And these were all math Asians, dorky Asians, because the coin, most people who lost on Luna were Asian, South Korean, in fact. But you had people here on the stateside also invested in it, and it was a lot of Asians. And I saw Asians are very well mannered, very polite, very math based guys on Twitter start going like, I'm a lunatic, I'm a terrorist. Start doing crazy things like borrowing a ton of money so they could deposit to get the 20%. It's free money. And then when I saw that, me and Charlie were like, all right, let's get out. I think this thing's going to implode. We figured out that they had the ability to have a death spiral. And we're like, oh, hell no. So we got out. So we made a 2-3x on Luna. We got out. We told our people, get the hell out of Luna. This shit's retarded. And we actually said this on Fresh and Fit too. And we got made fun, not by Fresh and Fit, but more like with some people in the chat were like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. A month or two later, zero. Imploded. Because what I learned from Hex. So I've learned so many things because I've seen really level-headed people, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being happy. But when I see in crypto, if you're really happy, if I learned one thing, it's like there's nothing like, oh, this is like right now, this is a good pump, right? But this is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. Like, hey, this is nice. Even if it goes down 50% from here, who cares? But it's now shown a pulse, no pun intended, a pulse. Like, okay, cool. But this is nothing. This is nothing. When I see people going bananas, and I mean, like making a music video about the death of your haters,
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight's 2020, but like these things, internalize these lessons. When you see that in other communities, because you can never see the forest for the trees or the trees for the forest in your own community sometimes, but you will see it in other ones. And this is what gave me a superpower, because I saw what happened in Hex and Pulsechain. I had that fucking that's like a red pill right there. The Pulsechain and Hex will give you a superpower at looking at other communities. You're like, oh damn, these fuckers are wilding. It's probably we're close. We're close. Yeah. That's the superpower you can get. If you get anything, that's probably the most important thing I've ever gotten from Pulsechain and Hex is that superpower. Because I've seen guys from like the grassroots make crazy money, and then like you see it in other communities. Same thing with Celsius. Like I started seeing, like we started in August of 21 being like, something's wrong. So we got most of our guys into Celsius, the token, at about 20 cents. It ran up to $8. We made a good amount of money. We started telling our guys, all right, something's weird. Started telling our guys from $8 down to $5, start selling. I even said, you know what? I'm going to wait a week, sell all your tokens on my head. I'm going to sell too, but I don't want any fucking like any things that like, hey, that like I sold before you guys. So sell it all. So I told, and we were in for months. Like we was like, get your money off of Celsius, get your money off all these exchanges. And then we also used the sacrifice that was coming out. There's going to be a sacrifice. You go get your copies. So we used everything and so we used our YouTube channels, our platform, and our courses to like tell people, get your money off exchanges, get your money off of Celsius, get your money off of all these lending platforms, BlockFi. We never use BlockFi, but BlockFi, if you're in it, get it out and move it onto your main wallet. So self-custody, so you can get the airdrop that comes later. That never came until fucking 2023, but it was a great marketing tool to like, hey, get the copies. What are you doing? And plus the bull market's going to be over soon. You're going to get wrecked. And our guys ended up having the least amount of like, our guys got very not wrecked, but there was communities I saw where it was like the Holocaust. It
Yeah.
it was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, basically, of destruction. It was, you know, Nanking, basically. It was that bad. But but remember, at the time, the reason we got shit on it is because you're supposed to be a diehard religious zealot on one coin, when I've always been a multi-coiner, right? And yeah, I hope that's kind of answered it, basically.
Yeah, it has. Wild SJ has entered the chat. Hello, Wild SJ.
Yes,
And 555 latest, send me a DM on X. Like, since we used your question, I'm going to send you a free copy of my book, Decrypting Crypto. You just send me a message right there on X, and we'll work it out here. And everybody that's in the chat right now, you got a question for Miguel? I got another book to give away here. So if you want a prize, just send him the most intelligent question that you can think of, and we will make sure you get your prize here and everything. Now, speaking of the crypto mindset course, I guess now is the time to get into some more confrontational questions with you, because, like, man, this whole point of having you on here was to ask you the hard questions. Now, I learned a lot from the crypto mindset course, particularly with using what you call a condom wallet. That has saved me a lot there. I mean, I have a wallet that I do my exchanges with. I have the wallet I do the hodling with. So if I ever, I mean, majority of like the problems you run into is from approving a bad protocol or something. So it's only a small amount I've ever lost because of that. And I got to thank you and Charlie for teaching me that. But let's talk about what a lot of people out there that maybe are like disgruntled customers of yours are probably very frustrated with. And that's this here. In the two courses that I was in, I remember a lot of coverage and time was spent on Pulsechain, Sonic, and Illuvium. I mean, you had the Illuvium guy on there for like a whole 2 days and everything. Great guy and all. So no hate on him.
You talking about Kieran?
Yeah, Kieran.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Yep. Okay, yeah.
But like all three of those, certainly in this past year, 2025, they didn't really deliver a good performance.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's multifaceted. So, like, as an example, I'll start with I guess I'll start with Sonic as an example, right? So we basically were buying Sonic. So we made a really good amount of money on Phantom, which is like which is the coin that Sonic turned in from Phantom to Sonic, right? Yeah. We got into that token around 16 cents in the last bull market in 2021, and it ran up to $3. I think $3.40 or $3.60, and we made a bunch of money on that. And the ecosystem plays fucking ran up like crazy. Tomb shares, rest in peace, Harry Ye. I think he got he got killed. Yeah, 100% he got killed, bro. Like, they ransacked the place. Definitely, they killed him.
I tell you, like, I am not going to be public when this bull market really goes off. I'm going to have like a cartoon avatar, because like I don't want anyone to know that I got crypto after what I heard about that.
So all three were because we were in them in the previous cycles, and it looked like a game plan and an action plan was set to possibly do something. So that's why, right? Just to be completely honest. So all our guys had made a bunch of money on Phantom before. Then the bear market started, and then we bought Phantom in the bear market again, and it crashed to 16 cents again. Hey, that's my entry last cycle. So we got in, and while it was Phantom, it ran up to about $1.40. So we told people, take profits above $1. It came in, then it turned into Sonic. So usually during conversions to a new token, unless it's seamless, usually people get kind of scared. And like we saw that there was going to be like problems with the exchanges. So some exchanges accepted it, some didn't. So then the coin went down a little bit, and then now it was Sonic. Cool. All right. They had a really good plan. They had a very, very good plan with an airdrop. There we go. Once again, an airdrop. Fuck. Right? They were going to do an airdrop based off of points. They had a really good system. And the first inklings that things were going bad is that they had basically said that if you're on Phantom, you're going to get credit for the first airdrop that happens, because you supported us, you were with us the entire time. And instead, they gave a ton of points to basically stablecoin holders. leeches that came into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So they kind of and that kind of was stupid. So I mean, even me, I was voting, I was in Beats, I was an Equalizer, I'd held tokens, I was yield farming the whole fucking bear market and stuff like that, and I was very active in the ecosystem, and I got fucked. I mean, I didn't get much. I got more than the average person, but I mean, no, it was nothing basically, right? Then they had later said, like, all right, we're going to fix this. We're going to give a little more points to people who are yield farming on chain now and stuff like this. And the big reason they gave is because we're trying to get USDC. USDC wants a certain amount of coins on the ecosystem, so they can get native USDC on Sonic. So we're like, all right, whatever, fine, kind of, right? And that's been the main problem, is fucking up the airdrop is really what started like the collapse on it. Because then what happened is, it's same thing that the Fed did. They pissed off the holders, and they pissed off the big whale money, because like, let me give some more money to the normal guys. And then the whales are like, oh, so you're not going to give me money for liquidity providing? Fuck this, I'm leaving. And that's what started the whole cascade, is they managed it very wrong. And they had not listened to $24. So $24 is the creator of Shadow and X33. He basically gave them a whole game plan of how to do it. I'd heard from multiple token founders within the ecosystem, this is a great plan, let's do it. Like we had Goggles, you had Tinfoil Hat Cat, you had basically all the major actual ecosystem projects and tokens. It's like, imagine the leaders of like Pulsex and Pulsechain and all these other projects or Ink Token and stuff, are all like, hey, let's do this. And they're like, nah, I'm not doing that. And they decided to do it their own way. And then because they didn't listen to their community, that's what started the crash. So it was, and then that was, so it's kind of that. So like that, but all this unfolded over a year, which is 2020, because it was basically still Phantom until 24. So it means like 22 Phantom, 23 Phantom, 24 Phantom. And then in 25, they became Sonic. And then kind of what you said on the chain there was a lot of liquidity was sucked out of the ecosystem. And then we had a very lackluster 2025. And if you actually look at what happened as well, is that Ethereum, which was $4,000, crashed to $1,400. So kind of going to the beginning of the stream, Bitcoin is the thermostat to the sauna of the entire market, and Ethereum is basically the eucalyptus oil that fucking really like spices that shit up. Because Ethereum nukes so bad and performs so terribly, it just sucked more liquidity out of the market. So if you look at it, like the project was kind of holding up a little bit, and then in March, everything went down. Everything went down. And because of that, because they kept fucking shit up, it just kept going down.
Yeah.
And that started the permanent slide to basically where it is now, which is like 2 cents right now.
Do you think like the rebrand was also a problem for it? Because like I don't see a rebrand that has really worked out for any project. Like, Polygon tried to rebrand.
Omiave is the only one. Yeah, it's just, but it was like during a time where like it was so unknown. Like it was ETHLend. I was in that project back in 2017 and 18. It basically went to zero. And the only reason I even made money on it is because like Salt lending was a joke as well. It went to zero as well. So I took whatever little Binance tokens and I dumped it all into ETHLend. I was like, well, if all these are going to zero, I took every little altcoin that I gambled with, just put it into ETHLend, and it was worth like maybe been a couple $100. I mean, 2020, I look back and it fucking goes on this monster pump. And then I was like, whoa, it turned into a lot of money for me in terms of Aave. And then I sold it because I knew that the conversion when it turned to Aave was going to do bad. But Aave survived, but it never really, once it turned to Aave, it never really went on this crazy run again. Because the big percentage run, a lot of projects like to change the token and the chart by creating a new token and moving everyone over there, because it erases the past chart, so people can't look, or people who don't know can't see like, oh, this thing just launched, it should be okay. Yeah. But you're right, rebrands typically are terrible, and then people are really bad at crypto, so they don't know how to move coins. So what they do is like, oh, I'll just sell it and buy it when it turns into a new coin, and because it creates all that seller pressure, nukes the chart. Because people are like, I don't know what to do, they sell it. So like that's what happened. So but we did make a lot of money on the Sonic ecosystem. We got basically, I got everyone into Shadow at like between $5 and $2, and it ran up to like I'm trying to remember, I think it was like $300 or $150. It was crazy amount of X's. It ran up stupid, and we took profit. I told people to take profits. We yield farmed it. So that was basically the saving grace for us. Is like we got into like the best project on Phantom or on Sonic, and it ran and did like crazy X's. Like we made some great money on that. That was awesome. But then from there, it was a crapshoot from there, basically.
But both Illuvium and Sonic had very user-friendly staking mechanisms too. Like I was staking on them just fine. I was able to show others how to stake on them just fine. But like that didn't really seem to help it any. Is it getting to a point here where like the staking, it doesn't really matter if that's offered or if it's user-friendly at all?
So with Illuvium, right? Illuvium is the classic example of it's almost a startup. Show zero revenue. The product's not out yet. So it's all imagination of what it could be, right? So in 21, we got into Illuvium at like, where was the price? I'm sorry, because I have to, I mean, I'm getting old in crypto, but in 21 Illuvium, I mean, I could probably look up the price real quick just because I don't want to say a fake number.
I remember seeing it at 1,500 once.
Oh yeah,
and like it never really returned to that glory.
Right. So it had a smaller supply. So basically, it sort of did the opposite, where like you yield farm it to get the supply out. It was the whole thing. So it started at a very low token price and a very small amount of coins. And it also, they caught the wave of the yield farming. They were one of the coins that like you could yield farm Ethereum to Illuvium and basically get a shit ton of APR, a monstrous amount of APR, basically. Let me look at the 1 second. Okay. All right. So basically, when we got into it, it was about, I'd say I think I got into it around $50 to $100, and at the peak, it peaked up about $1,850. So it peaked at about $1,800, and I was gaining about I'd say about 2,000 to 4,000% APR for about a year. So so we made some money. Our guys, students who got into Illuvium, made a lot of money in 21. So you see where how the whole story started. It's like we made a lot of money on this shit last cycle. Just with HEX, right? Like we made a lot of money in HEX in 21. What happened in fucking 25?
I remember the spooky swap farms. It was like you could like sneeze and whatever you sneezed on made money back in those days. Yeah.
So like, I'm not giving excuses for it, but I'm just saying it's like, what are you going to do as a human being? You're going to get into shit you made money on, and did it survive? And then all these projects did survive, and then had like, we're going to launch a brand new chain. It's going to be even fucking faster. We're rebranding, but we're fucking still here. Everyone's still here. And then Andre's leading the fucking charge this time. Fuck yeah. Richard, we're doing a sacrifice, you guys. I'm going to launch an entire new, we're just such a powerful token, an RC20 token. We're going to make our own chain, because if Ethereum doesn't fucking love us and fuck with us, then we're going to make our own thing. We're going to be the best. And Richard's okay. Illuvium. We just launched we have the token out right now. We're yield farming the fuck out of it, but we're finally going to launch our platform, and we're finally going to have our game. We're going to have you're going to be able to buy land and sell land. You're going to be able to battle our Pokemons, and then on top, you're going to be able to trade Pokemons, and on top of that, you're going to be able to gamble and battle your friends and stuff and trade cards. And then we're going to launch in the Illuvium game. We're going to have the game, but we're also we're actually a game studio. So when you invest in Illuvium, you're not just investing in the main game, you're investing into all the suite of other games. And eventually we are going to have a mobile game that's going to come out. We're going to have an MMORPG. We're going to have this. So you see how you come to the conclusion of like, all right, fuck it. Let's throw some money. Let's play. Right. Yeah. We all everyone fell for it. Hook lines. Everyone here fell for one of the three. Like exactly, especially everyone here is Pulsechain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think they're still here. I think Sonic is actually like the foundation's taken over. They fired Andre, and like I'm throwing some shekels in. It's so cheap. I mean, it is with point. Like I'm basically fuck it. I'm gonna throw some more down. Let's see what happens with Pulsechain. Same thing. Fuck it. Let's go. I'm still here. And I've said multiple times. I'll ride. If I will ride Pulsechain to zero. Mm-hmm. I'm never selling my bags.
I do believe, like, you think Pulsechain certainly has a future, but what about Sonic and Illuvium? You think there's still a future for them?
Sonic more than Illuvium. Sonic more than Illuvium. Illuvium. Here's what happened: is you had a total and fucking like what fucked Illuvium was that Ethereum underperformed, like everything, right? But like the narrative is weak. GameFi is weaker than L1. L1's a much stronger narrative. So because money was tighter, people prioritized. Okay, if I'm gonna speculate, I'm gonna speculate on Solana and some other L1s, maybe some Sui, some Say. You know, a lot of those other coins are kind of Say was dog shit, but like people were gonna speculate on the main. Like, what's for sure bets? If I'm gonna gamble here, there's less money here. I'm gonna gamble on like bigger narratives, or I'll maybe throw later in the cycle. I'll throw in AI or privacy. GameFi was way lower on the totem pole, and that's just how it worked because we had a less speculative cycle than 21.
Oh yeah, like
that's what happened. So I will say this though, Illuvium as a thing, they were really the only project to ever launch their token, their project, and actually launch their game. They didn't lie about anything. They did launch it all. The only thing that I actually went to a couple of gaming conventions that we were invited out to, and I went out to Salt Lake City, which I never recommend anybody to go to Salt Lake City, unless you like hiking or you're really religious. But it's one of the most boring cities I've ever been to in my whole fucking life.
Really?
I never.
I heard like that's where all the hot girls are. Was Salt Lake?
Where were they?
It's him. Okay.
You tell me, sir. I didn't see any. Really.
Yeah, you're gonna have to ask Justin Waller about that because he's the one that said that.
Well, I don't know. Justin Waller had pussy fall from the sky because, like, I mean,
exactly. When you're that tall, that good looking, girls chase you. Yep.
He's my buddy. I talk to him every month. He's a good guy. He's my friend, and we still talk shop all the time about crypto and interest rates and Bitcoin and everything like that. But like, Justin Waller can make pussy fall from the sky. And I'm not even joking around about that. Like, if you could see the amount of bitches that are throwing pussy at him in like nudes, your jaw would drop to the ground. One time he showed me his phone when he was in Miami. He go, check this out. He would have a girl sending nudes to him every 5 to 10 minutes. Every 5 to 10 minutes. There's some bitch like this. There's bitches in the shower showing like full, like Justin, like going like this. Like he was showing me, look at these fucking whores, bro. Like, bro. Yeah, life's different when you're Waller, bro. Like, but that's just the truth. Like, but like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, I mean, but we're also at a crypto convention. Like, come on. Like, we're already talking about slim pickings here, right? But like, it is what it is. I'm just saying it was very boring. Bars closed early. There's not much to do at night. Basically, is the main thing. I'm more of a nocturnal guy, really. Like, you know, I like to sleep in, work in the day, work until late night, and then if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out at night. And so that's why I like Las Vegas because I can do anything. Basically, the gyms don't close here. Basically, yeah, almost every major gym is 24/7 here. Las Vegas. I can go gamble if I want to. I can go drink if I want to. I can go to cigar lounge at like 4 a.m. if I really want to, right? If I want to. I just like the ability to, like, if I want it, I have it. That's really nice.
It never sleeps. Yep.
It never sleeps. It's not as 24/7 as when I went in 2020 or 2019. Las Vegas was so much better in 2019. So much better. COVID really like neutered it. It's not as good as it used to be. I will say that. But it's like slowly recovering because so many businesses went under because of COVID, and the laws put a lot of companies in peril that it's like it's never gone back to the glory of like 2019. Yeah, but that's what happened there. So that's what happened. So we went to that convention there. We talked to Kieran Warwick. You know, he never ran away from us. We always talked to him, and he asked me like, "What would you do?" He asked me this a couple times during not just a webinar, but he also asked me during when I met him in person there, and we were at a mixer and stuff, and then we were actually at the Illuvium event, which they had a gigantic booth and stuff. And I talked, and he asked me, "What would you guys do?" He was one of the few founders that really did ask us, like, "What would you guys do if we were in our position?" And I told him straight up, he needed to bring yield farming back. He needed to bring the yield farming back for the token, and that was going to help the supply, the token price, and bolster up liquidity, and pretty much make it very hard to that. Or what they should do is, we told them, put a transaction tax. That transaction tax adds Illuvium back to the top of the stack in the yield farming pool, and they can take some of the treasury and add it back to the pool. And that's what I said they should do, and that would bring up the yields up to like 100% APR or more. That yield sustainable there. That it will bring a couple of OG players which said, "Fuck it, I'll stay with you guys because you're also paying me to stay here a little longer." And like, fuck it, I'll stay. The price wouldn't have collapsed to where it is. It'd probably be at like worst case $30 right now. So 10x higher than it is today, and they didn't listen. So, but when we told them straight up, That's what would have saved the. I'm not saying bring back 1,000% APRs. That's not sustainable. The only reason that was sustainable is because if a project starts at 0, the yield's going to be insane because there's no supply. And it's a very low token supply token. It's a token that literally has less than 21 million tokens. I believe Illuvium has.
Yeah, that was like one of the selling points to it, was that there wasn't much supply to it. And like, that was kind of, it was back when a lot of people were just all about, well, what's the supply? I mean, they were hating on HEX for having so much supply and everything, but
Supply is a trip. Supply is a trip.
Yeah.
I will say it is very difficult for tokens to survive. Like, there hasn't been too many tokens that can be over $1,000 sustainably. It's just BNB, but you have the monstrous business of BNB behind it, right? Of what do you call it? A Binance.
Mhm.
You have Bitcoin, Ethereum. Fuck, if I can think of any other coin, I mean, that could sustain. So like, I think the two tokens, like, I'm not shilling here, but like, if I were to like, at two tokens I'm speculating kind of heavy on are Zcash and Tau.
Yeah.
Tau for AI. AI is going to be a huge narrative, whether we like it or not. It's going to be a huge narrative in crypto this cycle. And Zcash, them boys are deep in Zcash. And there's a lot, and there's kind of, I have a sneaking suspicion in 28 over the presidential election that a lot of people are going to sneak their money off into Zcash and into Monero because they're going to be afraid of, like, if the Dems do win, they're going to be afraid they're going to go after a lot of the stuff they put into crypto in place. So there's going to be kind of a flight, kind of a run to privacy tokens. This is also why even Ethereum is adding privacy over the next 2 years to Ethereum itself. So there's
that was a thing because like even BAT token was going up around the same time as Zcash and Monero, and like
actually, I never saw that. Really, BAT?
Yeah, the one from the Brave browser.
Yeah. Total trash.
Like, okay, maybe there is something to the privacy craving that everybody has then if BAT is going up, because I mean that was a thing back in 21, but it hadn't been a thing since then. Here's actually a good, like you mentioned this just a little while ago, that because Ethereum underperformed, that didn't help Illuvium either. No. And yeah, I would agree here that like when Ethereum does well, it has a way of just like pushing up the entire crypto market with it. And right now, like a lot of the Kalshi traders are very bearish on it. And I personally, like, I really hate that I think this way, but I do think this way. I've lost so much faith in Ethereum, just particularly from this past market, but also not just because of its bad performance, but just the things I hear from Vitalik and the foundation. Like, they don't sound at all like they care one bit about the price going up.
Because the foundation's poor, relatively. Mm-hmm. Like, they only have 100,000 tokens. It's their own fucking fault. Like, I mean, basically, Ethereum's in the middle of a corporate takeover in a way. So, like, Tom Lee and Lubin is technically an Ethereum OG. So it was SharpLink, but basically, I think about, if you add up all the corporations that own Ethereum now, it's about 7.4% of the total supply is owned by corporations now. That number is going to grow to like 20% this bull run.
Yeah, you think like Ethereum has a positive future then?
Oh yes, I do. It's the only chain you can use. Like, if you ask me what Ethereum is crypto. The most important, like, if Bitcoin didn't exist, Ethereum would be the most important coin on the entire fucking planet. It's still, like, as much as I love Bitcoin, what Bitcoin did is like proof of concept, scarcity. They figured out the three problems of like, how can I have something scarce that could be possibly printed, but okay, now there's a defense to it and it's verifiable. Cool. Like, now you can't, because that's one of the main things with internet money is like somebody would figure out a hack and be able to print it to like infinite, basically. Now that's been essentially solved to the most part outside of like eventual quantum upgrades. But once that quantum upgrades are put in both to Ethereum and Bitcoin, they're solid. I mean, that's it, right? We have internet we have money on the internet now. But after that, they haven't done nothing. And every single fucking thing that you have in crypto, everything. I don't, like, there is almost nothing that any blockchain has created that isn't a derivative of what Ethereum created.
Yeah.
Swaps, DEXs,
The EVM, yep.
EVM. This is why even Richard fucking copy pasted Ethereum 2.0. Like Richard was pretty much ready to launch Pulsechain in the summer of 22. He didn't do it because he heard through the grapevine, oh shit, they're actually gonna launch Ethereum 2.0. Shit. And then he had to like scrap the entire chain and remake it. And then that's why we got it in the summer of 23.
Yeah, the switch to proof of stake.
Because all the main developer power is in Ethereum 2.0 EVM. Mm-hmm. That's why Cardano hasn't done as well, is because they're using Haskell. They're on their own little island. That's one weakness we have, is that we need to be more interconnected. We're already shitcoiners now. We invest in meme coins. We believe in PDI. We believe in that. Literally, I'd be like, right? We believe in this shit. And so what's the difference? We might as well have bridges and be in Solana, and we need to have representation on base in Solana and the other RH ecosystem. And that's another thing. Oh my God, bro. I was one of the first guys laughing about this. I was like, holy fuck. HR just like Robinhood just stole that shit, motherfucker. I stole that shit. Like straight up stole. When someone in crypto thinks RH, they think Robinhood, not Richard anymore. That's how and I mean this in most respect, but Richard made himself a little irrelevant by not talking. No one thinks about Richard anymore. Because he's not streaming. The squeaky wheel gets all the grease. He knows that. How did Richard get famous? He got famous for originally he built a nice solid community from giving good crypto analysis, keyboard reviews, and essentially like being a Bitcoin maxi. And then what happened was he's like, a lot of people are retarded. Let me start interviewing people, and then he started like basically dissing people and then pretty much debating people and wrecking people in debates. And that's how he got famous, is debating and embarrassing motherfuckers and always being right. Well, if you're not doing that, what happens? Your name starts getting, like, you're still known, but you're not as talked about anymore. And then what happened since 21 and 22, people discovered spamming through Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate essentially created clip farming and clipping. And now you need an army of bots to clip out. I mean, if I would tell Richard one thing, he was like, get your clipping army out. You need a clipping army. Yeah, we have that in the ecosystem, but you need to pay, because it's a fucking huge industry now. Like, if people who own these clip farmers, they make some serious money. Like Clipper, the reason you see Clavicular is because Kick was paying $700,000 a month to Clippers to put his content all over the internet. $7,000 a month to Clippers. So, the top guys were getting paid probably like $7,000-8,000, and then a lot of small guys were getting paid $1,000 or $500, but they were spending stupid amounts of money. And they're probably like everything, like it's power law distributed. So there probably was one guy that was making probably like $100,000 of that, maybe 80 grand. But
there's a force of these agencies that are behind it. You know how like we all have like that clip of the week that's making the rounds on Twitter somehow that we're all talking about. Like, that isn't organic. Like, there is an agency behind it. So there is like some truth there. Is like, if you can master like that clip marketing, then you can really make something happen. But you think that Ethereum, I hope this is true here. Ethereum is going to have a much better 2027. Excellent. That's what I want to hear this.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to hear about Ethereum. Because I'll tell you what, like, I think it really hurt 2025, because why is anybody ever going to buy any altcoin if the number one altcoin couldn't even surpass its previous cycle high? And like the jokes that we've had, but there was a joke that I saw, like HEX in 6 hours did more than Ethereum did in 5 years.
That's true.
So, like, we gotta get Ethereum back to
Ethereum is the most important token. If Ethereum, my price target for Ethereum is probably $8,000 this cycle. $8,000. It's not, and that's not. That's basically it's going to, like, it would, in my math, the way it works is basically going to do what Bitcoin did last cycle. It's going to go 90% above its all-time high. So $4,800. So you can get about $8,000. That's enough. Like, I people ask me, when does an alt season? Because like there's not alt. You have a bunch of these Zoomer retards. Like, they're the younger Zoomer guys are kind of stupid. They don't know what an alt season is because they never experienced wealth really. Like, really, like in 2017, fucked whatever 21 was. Like what millennials know how to do is we know how to hodl. That's what I'm saying. We're the new boomers, right? But I'm gonna be a rich ass boomer. I mean, that's just a fucking fact. But you need to have a mentality of half your portfolio is a long-term hodl. Other ones are you're kind of like swing trading / investing for 1 or 2 years and then adjusting the portfolio basically over time. And that's how you really make a lot of money in the cycle. I said something to my students a long time ago. I will not let one token fuck my entire bull run. Ask me why, like I'm doing okay, and I'm doing because I didn't have all my money in one ecosystem. Illuvium didn't sink me, Solana didn't sink me. Oh, Solana made the money, a bunch of money, but like Sonic didn't sink me, Pulsechain didn't sink me. Because I made sure we are not like this one. This is one thing Richard even said, I believe in the stream. I can't remember which one, but basically diversification is stupid. It's true. You don't want to be over diversified. But we are not diversified. All our money's in one industry. Like, not ask me how much of my money is in crypto. All of it. Like literally all of it. Like, I'm not diversified at all. I just diversified a little bit in the crypto sense. Like I still got size. I still got a massive Pulsechain and Pulsechain bags. I've got BTC and Ethereum bags are fucking nice. And then I'm in sized bets and everything else, basically. Right. That's and then so if Pulsechain didn't do good, I still had a bull run. Like I bought BTC at the bottom there. I bought between 15,500 or 15,800 to 52,000. And I bought Ethereum. Every time Ethereum crashed, I bought it. Like when I bought heavy, I was on the phone with Myron. I was on the phone with Fresh. I was on the phone with Justin Waller. I was like, bro, it's $1,400 buy. And we went back up to 4,000. Even though it wasn't a 5x, still made money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. So like Ethereum is going to do a lot better. Every central bank digital currency on the planet is essentially running on top of Ethereum or an Ethereum L2. All of the reason Ethereum is so important for crypto is because Ethereum's actually quantifiably linked in liquidity pools to everything on every chain. Even Pulsechain, like there's Ethereum pools to Pulsechain, right? Yeah. There's on Robinhood, on Base, on Solana, even though Solana is their number one enemy or whatever, but like they sure have fucking wrapped Ethereum pools.
Don't forget about the Pulsechain treasury too.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. Well, I know. Right. Ethereum really matters, right? So like even Richard believes so, or why would he collect it?
Yeah.
Huh? So just last thing is the bull market really starts when Ethereum passes $5,200.
All right.
No. Right. If obviously Ethereum's running up in a bear market, like right now, like into next year, sure, it's still great if we're going up, right? But once we pass $5,200, it's on. It's on because Ethereum will lift. Even if a project's doing bad, it will at least do 50 to 80% of the returns Ethereum does.
Excellent.
Then other ones will outperform Ethereum, but Ethereum is like really like Ethereum's like how hot you want the alt season is how hot Ethereum goes, and Ethereum is going to do much better this cycle because Wall Street's now in. They got the ETF and more ETFs. We still haven't gone the biggest ETF in the world yet. Vanguard's about to go live in the next year. They're the biggest ETF supplier proponent, and on top of that, they're going to have the lowest fees.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How about the Clarity Act? Do you think that matters at all? You got any prediction on the Clarity Act? Because like
mattering less and less now.
Yeah, I don't think like it really matters as much as people say it does.
We basically like we got lied to. This last lie was the last time we believed, and we're like, all right, enough's enough. Like even if it doesn't pass in September, the SEC says they're gonna fucking do their own thing. Like fuck it, if you don't pass it, on this next one, but then all right, we're gonna launch our own thing. And so if it happens in September, it'll make the bottom. So cool, but you know, I mean, but the rules are so bullshit because it only really hurts. It's really just for stablecoin issuers, really. Like, what crypto rules is there? I mean, there's nothing. Like, does the Clarity Act tell me how I can start a crypto business without getting fucking arrested or in trouble? No. Yeah. What clarity? It's nothing. It's just so Wall Street can put their fucking money in. That's it. But but like people, all they care about is the pump. So that's what it is.
Yeah, we got some viewer questions here. Let's see. You want to answer this one? He's asking. Myron Jr. is asking, what happened to Plan C? I guess he means like for the Moon Gang streams y'all did. He used to be on those, but he isn't on them no more.
Yeah, shout out to Myron Jr. here, OG listener. He's gonna. I don't know. It seems like he's a little salty in the chat. So some of them have been very like mean, and then some nice ones. But Myron Jr. started in my courses and stuff. I haven't seen him in a while, but shout out to you, bro. But what happened to Plan C? Basically, he went full. I care about Plan C as a person, but he is a person that falls into religion a lot, heavy duty. So he was in the religion of Celsius. He was burned badly, lost a ton of his fucking money, and then went into the religion. He's like he wants to be, like he's a math guy that wants to be right about everything. And then his math was pretty right on Celsius until Celsius started doing bad things with customer funds. So he was tracking the business, the numbers, the holders, all the actual real data that we had was correct, and a lot of his predictions tracked correctly. But then what happened is they started stealing money, and then the math didn't work anymore, and then that's what happened with that, and then he lost a bunch of money. Then Plan C's like, and I mean this with the most respect, is a lot of streamers do this. Okay, what can, and a lot of people's entire MO is like, I want to be right so I can be an asshole. And I'm not saying he did this, but most people do this. He's not an asshole, but he did the same philosophy as the guy who does that, but except he's not an asshole. Is what can I shill that I can't be shit on for being wrong because I know I'll be right, and so I can be a smarty pants, and like I can show that I'm better than everybody. Oh, I'll become a Bitcoin maxi. So he became a full Bitcoin maxi. He has his own like version of like power law scaling and stuff like that. He has his own thing, and his whole name Plan C is based off of Plan B. He's Plan C basically, and it was originally for Plan Celsius, but now it's for Plan Bitcoin. And he gained a very big Twitter following from basically being inside of like these Bitcoin retweet groups where they only retweet Bitcoin maxis, and they all retweeted and stuff. And he basically showed a lot of math, and Bitcoiners are just looking for another way to honey dick each other into getting more Bitcoin. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So put him up here, and then that's how he got his following. But he's just, I still say hi to him and stuff like that, but like he's just like, you guys aren't talking Bitcoin only. I can't be seen with you guys, so I'm Bitcoin only. All right, so, cool, man. It's sort of like when I secretly go out to, like, it's just like I can't be seen like. I become a crazy religious fanatic, so I can't be seen with you on the streets. But if no one's around, I'll go, hey.
Last thing I saw from him was he was like very passionately anti 4-year fundamentalist. That was the last thing I saw from him, and like I really haven't seen much from him since. You know anything about what's going on there with that?
I have no idea. I mean, everyone's trying to get same thing. Even there, like the whole point of the retweet groups is like we're trying to get bigger so we all get more famous. And then everyone's trying to figure out, they're like, how can I say something so different that gets me on all the Bitcoin podcasts? Yeah. So I can get more famous. That's bro. When you think about it, it all comes down to fame, and fame just equals into coochie and money. That's it.
Yep. Toby1 Hexobi has entered the chat here. He says Miguel's looking lean. What's the secrets?
You know how to work out. I started my cut in a little bit past my birthday last year. I think around May, beginning of April to May. I started my cut. I started my cut from 301 pounds down to like I'm 241 right now. So it took me a whole year to lose 60 pounds basically. And
now's the time to do it, because I'll tell you, like this whole cyclospora thing has me just doing meat only, and I'll tell you what, like that meat only is incredible.
Yeah.
Because like I guess like the protein just like requires more. It burns calories digesting it, so it's less calories than it actually says it is.
Right. So like what I did is like I knew I was fat already, but I was really busy because we're in a bull market, right? So I was like, all right, it's not a good idea, but like I mean I'll be honest, like what typically in bear markets I have more time so I can work out so I get skinnier. It's the fat to skinny ratio in the bear market. So like skinny DCC means we're doing bad, fat DC is we're doing good. but all jokes aside, no, it's I'm 6'2". So I'm 6'2", 240, 241. But what do you call it? But basically what happened was I had starting a family, and my son was born premature, and I was like basically very stressed out. A lot of people, I told people about it at the time, but like I just didn't, I didn't talk about it. I didn't make it 24/7 my channel, like, oh, woe is me and all this other stuff. But like my son was in and out of the hospital all of 24 and 25 basically. And I just was stress eating. I mean, I'm just not going to lie. I was just stress eating. I would occasionally be able to get a workout in. So, but I really locked in on my workouts in 25. So I got to 301 pounds, stress eating still, but I was really consistently working out. So I kind of built back my muscle into 2025. And then I was like, fuck it, let's start this cut. And then I started the cut basically. And yeah, did it Did it without using any performance enhancing drugs or GLPs or anything like that. But I've just recently started. I just got on testosterone last month. I'm 35 years old. Yeah. So I'm on I started with like 140. I'm taking like 200 test C right now, daily injections.
Yeah, I'm trying to delay it for as long as possible. I'm 40 now.
Dog,
I'm just trying to keep pushing it back there, man.
Get on it, bro. I mean, bro, what you're just gonna keep rolling backwards, dude. Like, I mean, honestly, if I know what I knew now after being on just barely, I would have gone on a 28, 26. Yeah. Not even joking around. Yeah, absolutely.
Here is like once you start it, you have to stay on it because like the body gets used to it.
If you really want to. Yeah, I mean, if you start young and you can chill, you can get back your level. You just take Clomid. You can take Clomid and take ACG. Like you turn your like I'm on ACG right now. Like my balls are full size and shit. Like it's fine. Like I'm still shooting loads and shit, and everything like that. And I got my sperm tested. Like I think I have like something like 70% of what I had before because I got tested beforehand and stuff. So like I've lost something like 30% sperm count. And I'm only on ACG. I'm not taking Clomid or any other crap. So if I got on Clomid and everything like that, and my sperm count would be back at 100 basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is. But like now my son's very healthy. We're fine. Best shit ever. Go have kids, bro. Don't anyone lie to you. But like I had a very stressful pregnancy basically. Like we basically I went to California to do like gender reveal and stuff, and he popped out 2 days later. That wasn't even the baby shower. It was just like a general reveal. We're like, all right, well, because like we were so busy, and I was about in the next few weeks or the next month, I was about to go to Miami to go do Fresh and Fit and go do all the shows in Miami, and then he just like pops out. So, like, yeah, but he pops out he weighed like less. I think either a pound and a half or less. He weighed 590 grams. So wow, nothing. Yeah, like he was very small, and now he's in my house wrecking the whole house because he can walk. He's walking around my whole house. Yeah. He knows how to walk now. He walks like this, like because he's trying not to lose his balance, but he's like fucking hauling ass across my house everywhere. And like we've had to like baby proof the whole fucking house and shit. It's like it's a never ending struggle of trying to stop kids from killing themselves.
You need like one of those bubbles, those little bubbles to put them in.
But anybody got your children love you. Your children love you. Like children will love you more than anything. Like a woman's love is in a way real. It is real, but like your children truly love you. There's no if and buts. Like your children are like true love. If I could tell you one thing, go have children, man. Go have children with the right woman. Keyword there. Yeah.
With the right woman, absolutely. Anybody in the chat that still got questions for Miguel? I only got a few left here, so you better get them in right now, and then we'll ask Miguel which one he thinks is the best one, so you can get a copy of this book. Whoever asks the best question gets a copy of Riches from Bitches. So nice. The only questions I got left here for you is just maybe like 2 or 3 left here. The first one I'd ask is, what do you think needs to happen to get the market back into green candle territory? Like overall, I have some views of like what needs to happen, but what would you say is like when this occurs, well, then we're back to good times?
I would say I think the Vanguard is going to be the real push. Once Vanguard's ETF goes live. Now, if it happens super late in 27, then it's going to be other stuff. But like if Vanguard's ETF goes live, that'll basically, if it doesn't mark the bottom, it will make sure we're totally bottomed at that point. Like that ETF is like we're on, bros. Like that's the huge one that hasn't activated yet.
They were a holdout. They've been a holdout for a long time. Like they were also saying like they didn't even like want to do anything in the 2025. Everybody else was doing ETFs, and they were asked, and they said, "We're not even thinking about it." It's like
BlackRock and Vanguard are the 2 largest. ETF providers on the planet. They hold pretty much all the ETFs on the planet. I mean, they're basically the entire market. Basically, those 2, right? And the most profitable ETF in BlackRock history is the Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like the Bitcoin ETF is nowhere near their SPY or the S&P or the NASDAQ. Their versions of those ETFs, those S&P 500s. There is hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars in those ETFs, and this little small Bitcoin one makes more money for them. That's why they're getting it. It's impossible. If you hate money, don't jump in crypto. as like you have to jump in crypto. Like even JP Morgan for years shit talk crypto, and now he's like jumping full force because he's not a retard. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna let this money go. You have to get the money. But how do I say this? But like, yeah, it's just overall like it's going to be Bitcoin bottoms, and then we're going to start going up from there. In 2027, Bitcoin will be above 100 grand, and that's really where we're on again for crypto. If you're like not fully in crypto, like by 100 grand, you're crazy not to be in, because like there's a good shot we'll be back at the all-time high in 27.
I'll hit you with what I think could be the catalyst here. Arthur Hayes put this out on Substack today, and basically what he's thinking is going to happen here is like this USD yen pair is going to keep being volatile here and everything, and it's going to get to a point where he thinks that Scott Bessent and Trump are going to have like some sort of private meeting with Kevin Warsh, and then Kevin Warsh is going to have to meet with, let's see, I think it's John Williams, and I forget the other governor that they have to do it with, because like there's chairman of the FOMC, there's chairman of the board of governors, and then there's Williams of the New York Fed. They have an emergency meeting, and they're going to turn this on here, the Foreign International Monetary Authority repo facility. This is basically going to be another massive money printer event like we had in 2020 if they do this. So when I see this go off, well, that's immediately where it's like, hey, sell the car and plow everything you got into crypto here, because it means
they have to defend the carry trade. They have to defend it. It's too big to unwind, and then it puts too much pressure on the 30-year treasuries.
Exactly.
I'm 100% agreeing with you like here. Like this is basically, you're right. This is essentially a new version of the overnight repo markets for banks. This is going to be for countries. And like you're having the same problems right now, and it just says South Korea just owns way less than Japan, but South Korea is in massive trouble. Like their stock market looks like a crypto chart. That's not good. Like that's not good. And then Japan is obviously not doing as bad, but the yen dollar is at an all-time low. I think it's a 40-year low or something like that. It's like fucking insane. And like Argentina is essentially at zero right now. So like it's not, they need to protect it, and then the only reason we're protecting them is the carry trade, and also like Japan's are really our greatest trading partner internationally. Like I wouldn't really count Mexico and Canada because they're our neighbors. It's like, of course, right, but in terms of like an actual like far away entity, Japan's really our greatest trading partner,
and they hold a lot of treasuries. They hold a lot of our debt. That's right,
$1 trillion.
Yeah, this is what I meant to share here. The Foreign International Monetary Authority's repo facility. This could be the money printer that we see this time around. And then like we even got like this really nice kind of breakdown of like the mechanics of how it's going to play out here. This was posted from Maelstrom earlier today. That's also Arthur Hayes. So he's thinking that if the carry trade unwinds, they got to turn that this specific money printer back on. And when we see them do the yen interventions that they've done for the past couple of days, they have not been very effective, and they're really giving it everything they got. So it could be an amount of money printing that needs to get done that even dwarfs what we saw in 2020. You got like any estimates you think of? Like,
do you have the overnight repo market chart to see? Like, I forgot where on the website it is, but
I think it's on the Fed's site here.
Yeah, let's see if we can look it up.
Overnight repo.
Let's see here.
I got the balance sheet, but not the. Actually, it might be on Fred. Let me look it up on Fred.
Isn't that crazy? Like, that's such a weird website name, Fred. It's Federal Reserve. I know, but it's funny.
Here we go. Overnight repurchase agreements.
How high did it get to? Was it? Let's go
zoom in here.
5 years would be perfect. 5 years would be perfect.
5 years? Yeah,
that'll be perfect. Yeah, that's about right. Let's see. What's the number? Can you click on the top, the peak there?
This one here?
No, the one in 20. This one.
31.5. That was 2025 though.
These are the purchases, but it's not showing the total money that's actually been in billions of dollars. Because these are like money that was taken, but I was kind of looking for like the actual overall like money that was essentially printed.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a different chart here. I think it's total securities purchased by Federal Reserve. Yeah, where is that chart? Yeah, maybe it's
We can
not on
find
the.
but it was a very large amount. It got up to trillions. It
Mhm.
got up to trillions. So, because right now I think like what's in the overnight repo market, it's like 600 to 900 billion dollars right now. It's still like out there, but it's like most of it's been paid back, which is good. But like, so I would say 2 to 3 trillion. It's
Oh,
going to
here
go
it
up.
is. I found it.
Okay, cool.
It's on macro trends here. Where's
It's
the
crazy how
screen
they
share?
don't show that. That's well, I would imagine. Never mind. Why not? Right?
Oops. Well, screen's all gone a little haywire on me here. Um, okay, here we go. This one, please. Okay, here we go. Finally behaving. All right. So let's see. We want to go down to 5 years, and let's see the peak. This was like the overnight repo. That's what we wanted, right? Because that was at
Yeah.
2.55 trillion back in December 2022.
Okay, so I was close-ish. So about right range. Okay, so about 2.5 trillion. And where is it currently at right now?
Um, it's less than a billion now, actually, or right at about 2 billion.
Wow. Okay, so I was right on the total amount, but not. Wow, it's way lower than I thought. Okay, because when I last saw it, it was 600. So damn, this is.
Yeah, 1 point, or no, it's less than 1 billion now. So it's kind of like right in line with the Treasury General account.
Yeah. So
Nine
basically,
hundred and 75 million.
so this is right now what I call a bullet in the chamber. Is that this is what Jerome Powell did over was a good idea. Is like he got the overnight repo overtime paid down. So this is a printer they can reprint again to 2 trillion. So they got this. So it's like this is a bullet. So it's like, okay, we can't do full money printing like we did in the past, but we can pump banks up with like $2 trillion again if we need it. And then now with this Mika or this was it FICA or is what was it called the new printing for the
FEMA. Yeah,
FEMA? FEMA?
a foreign international monetary authority.
Okay, FEMA. That's okay. So now we have FEMA FEMA called Katrina, and then we have the overnight repo market. There's about if things get really bad, they can pretty much print about $4 to $5 trillion right there.
Wow.
So about 2.5 for the banks here in the United States, and like probably comparable because like the recent help from the recent help they did $300 billion in intervention to currently, and then it still went down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably people going like, fuck, this shit's crazy. I'm just gonna get out. Fuck it. I'm just getting out. So that 300 billion allowed some guys to go, I'm just getting out of this. That's how JP Morgan does a lot of time. It's like when shit's about to go bad or like shit's starting to go bad, they'll take a little L. Like that's what they did recently. So when silver shot up, they unwound their entire silver trade and they took 50 billion in losses and says, fuck it. It's okay. We'll take the loss right now to get out. And they didn't get blown up. Because like that was the big one that everyone was talking about in the silver community. JP Morgan suppressing the silver price. Yes, they was. They absolutely were, and they had paper silver, and they made more than $50 billion on silver for sure. So they were like, all right, we'll take the L, and they didn't blow up. And that's why Jamie Dimon's so good at that. He's like, sometimes you're like, fuck it, we'll take a small L, let's get out, and then they didn't blow up because they would have got blown up. And we could have seen JP Morgan get destroyed with that silver run, basically, that we had. But no, I totally agree with you on this. Like, it's good to put some numbers on it. So that means, 5 trillions. Like, if things get crazy, we got 5 trillions that they can print where they don't really need permission from like Congress really or anybody to like. But if straight up money printing into a straight up bond buy and like normal, like we got like QE, that one's going to raise alarms. But they basically have two. Like, I didn't know. I thought I didn't know they were going to go that far. But like, I mean, you've taught me something right now. I didn't know that about FEMA.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I didn't know that either. It was like another one of those little under the radar things that they created during the 2020 crisis. It was like when you could get away with anything. That whole never let a good crisis go to waste. Asana Underground asks, do you have any thoughts on ICOSA? And I guess while you're at it, Hedron as well.
Not that big of a fan, personally.
I like the front end. That was really it. It was a good front end for staking HEX. Yeah. It was cool to get another free coin out of it, but
no, I mean Alex did a great job with it, but same thing. He fucked off. Now, granted, I'll say granted. gave it away for free. So like, what no expectation of the work of others, but he did take a very very nice sacrifice for Icosa. He pocketed a lot of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that. He pocketed a fuck ton of money from Icosa. And I don't know. I mean, hopefully he comes back. Prove me wrong. But that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. All right, so out of Asana Underground, Toby Wan, Hex Obi, and Myron Jr., who do you think asked the best question? Or who you like best out of those? Well, I didn't want to say it like that. I want to say who you like best there, because
say the three again.
It was Toby Wan, Hex Obi, Myron Jr., and Asana Underground.
I'd say Toby and Myron Jr. probably.
Tony and Myron Jr. Okay. Yeah. If I had to force you to pick just one of them, which one would you pick?
Over here, fucking starve maxing me here.
I ain't gonna put you on the spot like that. So I'll tell you what, Myron Jr., Toby Wan, send me a DM on X. We'll make sure you get your free copy of your book here. Like, I got plenty of these I can give out right here. So this is Riches from Bitches, Exploiting the She Economy for Profit. This will show you how to make money off of the trends of the she economy. So while all these girls are out there being all girl bossy and being like, oh, we don't need no man, we're independent. Be like, oh, okay, well, you keep being independent. I need you to keep working and busting your butt off real hard so I can sit back and make profit off of you. That's what this book is all about, is making money off of the trends of the she economy. Last question I got here for you is, you've been in crypto for 10 years, or at least 10 years, probably a little bit longer. What would you say, then, in your 10 years of experience, is the most important thing for investors to watch? It could be something like a macro gauge, or it could be a chart, it could be a leading or a lagging economic indicator. What do you think is like the most important thing for the people in the audience to keep their eyes on, to know when are good times ahead or when are bad times ahead? What should be their compass in the coming market?
Obviously, like, because the 4-year cycle has worked out so far, is remembering where we're at in the 4-year cycle, but also looking at like how much money and how happy everyone is comparatively. Because so obviously, if someone comes in 2025, their barometer doesn't work because that's all they know. Maybe it was a little colder in the beginning and now it's really hot at the end, right? But if you're here right now, look at how Twitter and everything is right now. Remember that, and then when it gets in 2029, see how crazy it is. Take a little profit. Like, it might be a smarter thing to, like, just, even if it's taking 20% off the table at some point in 28 or 29, when you're really up a lot, taking a little bit, just probably like a small start a small DCA out, small, very small, but get used to being able to take profit. And then when something becomes like really big money for you, like, just take some profit. And it's like, remember where you're at in the cycle. Like right now, we're nowhere near the top. You got 3 years, 4 years, really. Like, it's possible we get an extended cycle, but like, you got to play that game plan of the 4-year cycle and just remember where we're at. We're at the bottom right now. Next year's going to be better. 28 is going to be better with more volatility. And 29, who knows? Like, we're so far. I can tell you 27 is going to be awesome. Outside of a complete financial meltdown crash, outside of that, because we could still get something, but very unlikely. 28 is going to be really good as well, but like, there's going to be a lot of drama with the presidential election. After that, 29 could be good, but like, I think I'm a little too far. We're a little too far away from 28 to say about 29. But like 27, I can tell you really strongly, I think we're going to do really well.
Yeah.
And watch out for the French. That's right. And watch out for the French.
Yep. I see a different. The French, actually. There was one thing about the French I did want to bring up here today that was related to everything that we were talking about, and that was where was it here? Nope.
Bitcoin Reserve.
Here it is. Yeah, here it is with the French. Here is you notice how like the Japanese bonds are really popping off. Well, so are the French bonds here. They call them notes, the Obligation Assemblée du Trésor. They are going off the charts here because it seems like the Japanese are going to be selling. They're very large holders of French bonds. They're going to be selling a lot of those French bonds to basically buy and bail out the yen. And France is in a really precarious spot right here because, like, they're a big part of the EU.
I'd love to hear
And
it.
if they collapse here, that can really hurt the whole EU. And you see it, they're kind of dragging every other government, such as the German and Italians, up here with them in these bond yields. They could drag them right down too. And the capital flight out of France is just absolutely, it's massive that's
I
going
love
on
to hear it. I
right
love
now.
to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Yeah.
not like the French government at all. Not the French people are incredible, but not the French government. You want to hear a conspiracy theory? I think will be proven true in the future. The French government's secretly behind some of the ledger hacks and are secretly they're the ones that are building up a Bitcoin. I think they already have a crypto secret like government crypto storage already, and they're essentially using stolen user funds to fund it and build it up and stuff. And they've now announced they're going to start accumulating BTC and Ethereum, but I think they've already been doing it already. Like I think a big chunk of the ledger hacks that happened in France are behind. The government is behind it, or the French Legion. So
Quite
I just
possible.
little conspiracy theory, and yeah. Just to answer this question from earlier, because I know we're about to sign off, but like, just go to the gym every day, lose weight. You don't have to like do like a whole weight workout, but go in and just do your cardio. Like do cardio. Like I try to do cardio every day. 30 minutes, zone 2, 15 incline, 2 speed. Not to the point where like you're fucking like losing your fucking breath, but like where like you're just walking, and that's just super smart. Or also trying to like one thing I've slowly added these tricks to my my workout and stuff. I try to not to drop my calories too much. I try to increase my activity. But if like a lot of time I like sometimes if I can't do like fasted cardio, what I'll do is on my last meal of the day, like if I eat a big ass fucking dinner, I'll just jump on the treadmill right after.
Yeah.
It's really healthy for you. Like if you can do a 10-15 minute walk after every meal, it's really healthy for you. But really, like the heavier the meal, you really should be doing 30 minutes. And like I try not to push my cardio past like 40 minutes a day, because like eventually, like if I try to peak, if I try to like actually like I'm treating it almost like a real bodybuilding cut, eventually my cardio might have to be like an hour and a half, hour 20 minutes to like get 6-pack leaned out and stuff. So I'm saving all like the tips and tricks and stuff. That's also why I got on testosterone too, is just so I don't muscle waste so much because like I was so fat, but I had a lot of muscle that like I pretty much I've only lost fat basically on the cut, but these last 30-40 pounds I'm going to lose muscle. So like, yeah.
All right. You got any other advice for the viewers there? Anything at all?
Lift weights. I think as because I worked out as a natty, I know how to work out as a natty. So try to have like I always had 2 back days. Like if you want shoulders, you should have 2 shoulder days. You should like that's how I got these big ass boulder shoulders that I've had over the years and stuff. Is like if you want something, you have to train it more, but you can't push it to like a fucking retarded degree. But like sometimes in the gym, I'm about to leave. Fuck it, I'll do a couple more side laterals or something like that. So like one thing I focused a lot over the last year and a half on my back. So I did like 2 back days, like a week, and I just added so much volume. But I did my back days, but focused them on biceps actually. So like I made sure like when I was doing like weighted chin ups, or I was doing like heavy lat pull downs, but like this instead of this, to build biceps up. A lot. My main compound in my back was I wasn't deadlifting, but I was doing heavy barbell rows, heavy barbell rows for trying to push 8 to 12 reps, and use straps when we can't go any heavier in terms of your grip gives out, but try to do as much like heavy compound movements as you can. And that's why I build my back, because I had a back injury from when I was younger, when I was like 24, 25. And I almost don't get any more back pain anymore. But it's from doing a lot of like compromised position sort of workouts. Like I'm almost like my back's almost flat when I'm doing it. So I could build up that lower back basically. So there you go. Yeah. Get those workouts in. And you really don't need protein powder, but it helps a little bit. But like try to eat as much whole food as you can, and then like if you want a protein shake in there, go ahead. It'll really help out and stuff. But like try to eat as much like protein as you can, and then if you are cutting, if you're cutting, then like add a little intermittent fasting in there if you can. That really helps out, and then you can use those calories to then make your lunch and dinner more bigger, basically.
Yeah.
But there you go. Yep.
That's great advice. I got one piece of advice for the viewers. Actually, I don't, but Margaret does. Margaret?
Control yourself!
What are we going to do here when we see a bunch of volatility coming up from France and Japan having all their drama? What's the best piece of advice?
Control yourself!
It's what I want to scream out every time I see red days going on right there. Is come on, guys. You all know what you're investing in. You know like what it is you hold and why you hold it, or at least I hope so. All right, so this was a great conversation. We certainly thank you for spending the 3 hours here with us when you're involved in like a lot of stuff going on, because I know how it is for you guys over at the Crypto Mindset course. You do like a big 4-hour webinar in the morning, then another 4-hour webinar 12 hours later at night. Don't know how you guys do it or when you guys get any sleep in, because man, those must be some very long days. And if somebody wants to be part of that course, where can they go to get in on the next one?
You can follow me here at let me the old link tree here. You can follow me here on Twitter, but here's my link tree. I don't know if they'll share the link here if I go on.
I can throw it in the chat right there, and then I can put it on the screen for everyone.
Sure. You can follow all my socials. There's just a lot of like fake dollar cost cryptos and stuff like that. And but all my socials are there. I'm verified on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble. I mean, I'm on Kick. So like, go follow me ever. Go follow the official manga release.
All right, everybody, and that is that's dollar cost crypto on Linktree. So linktr.ee/dollar cost crypto. That is where you will find all of the official channels for Miguel over at Dollar Cost Crypto. And here they're already they're already in the Q3 crypto mindset, but this is where they would come to get in on the Q4 crypto mindset course when it gets released, right?
Yeah, we're probably going to release it very late this year. Basically.
Oh wait, I got to put it on screen here. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to do that. There we go. Yeah, so here it is. It's just Dollar Cost Crypto over on Linktree that has all of his official handles and everything, and all of his social media properties. And let's see, you're going to be doing a return stream too after the course is over. You know when that might be?
Probably maybe second week of September. I would imagine.
Second week of September,
something like that. Yeah, because like we're still in the middle. We've only finished about a third of the crypto mindset course in terms of webinars, and then we're going to be doing the crash out course right after it, a couple days after it. So we have a lot of content coming out and stuff. And then the cool thing about the crash out course is like once we go back on YouTube, we're still doing webinars for the crash out course the entire time until the next one. Like we did a webinar, we started sales on August 10th, or actually let me look at the exact dates to get the so we started sales on July 10th, and we did a webinar for the crash out course on the July 9th. So even the day before, we still were putting content out for the guys, even the day before we started sales. So like we always take care of our crash out course and our mindset guys, and we're going to be buying the bottom, basically. So like, yeah, man. But one thing that is available right now, because I actually have to take off those links, and I think they don't work anymore actually. But the Citadel is available right now, and that is something we're always helping the guys out. We do give special webinars. If the bottom's in, we're going to probably do a flash webinar for the Citadel, invite everybody in Citadel and stuff. We have like 300 plus members in the Citadel right now, and it stayed strong, man. This is the Spartans in there, man.
I'd say if the Citadel, that would be a good place for you guys to go if you're not quite sure about doing the crypto mindset course. You just kind of like want to sample what Charlie and Miguel are going to tell you and everything, because I believe you still do this here. I mean, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but like the longer someone's in the Citadel, the less the crypto mindset course is going to cost them. Is that still a thing? Okay, great.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's about $600 off. If someone's in there for a year, that's like $600 off.
All right, good. I don't want to be like putting you on the spot, making you commit to discounts you no longer do.
Yeah, I've been at this for such a long time that you know, I'm used to every question already. That's why I wasn't like, why the fuck are you bringing up alluvium or Celsius or like I was like, nah, no, like I got answers for all of it. Like it's pretty relaxed on it and stuff, and it kind of is what it is and shit. I mean, I've got like it's the truth, you know. That's what it is. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's great having you on there, Miguel. Say hi to Rolo and Sartain there for me. And
Sure.
we look forward to seeing you coming back on YouTube after the Crypto Mindset course there.
Absolutely. I'll have you on my channel as well, man. I always support any alum. I did not know you're alumni, man. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, heck yeah. That's why I went extra time because he was an alumni. That's why. You know, you want to know
Appreciate
the real
that.
I support anyone who's taken the Crypto Mindset course in the past, man. So hey, thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate it.
Thank you, because it really taught me everything that about DeFi or it got me started on DeFi for sure. Like I would not know anything about it, like how to yield farm, how to stake, or how to do anything off of a centralized exchange. I would have probably ended up in one of the centralized exchange disasters if it wasn't for you and Charlie. So like even though I'm sure you guys get a lot of hate of like, you know, maybe some coins you talk about that don't work out, I think that like, people do have to recognize that there's a lot of stuff that you save guys from too as well.
Yeah.
And you know, certainly the trick with the condom wallet has saved me a tremendous amount of times. It's better to lose like $10 than to lose 10,000.
Correct.
Mhm.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, thank you, man, and catch you on the next time.
All right. Have a good night, Miguel, and good night, everybody watching.